I'm, of course, not Joe McKenna. I'm your host for the night. I'm Jason. And
right. Stop. It's fucking killing us for fucking right. Aye. Crack on.
Crack off, for fuck's sake.
No, sorry, mate. I'm getting this shit about Twitter.
All right.
Getting shit about crack on, right? I'll shut up
now. Right, welcome to the HomeBhoys. I've said a lot of shit before, but that's us. So we're live and delighted to be joined. I'll go to the man who was muffling shite there a minute ago over in Cambuslang, Scott McCory. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, pal. I'm good. Good to speak to you again, man. I've been getting slaughtered off my mates for fucking no damn pods, so I'm on to fucking give you shit.
By the way, send the link to me, right, so that Martin can share, but we'll get to that now. We're at the Royal Borough of Rutherglen, the Longshanks himself, Mr. Liam Power. How you doing, mate?
Well, good, mate. Busy week. How are you?
Aye, good, mate. Good. Just back from down south.
Yes, mate. Yeah, just recovering from the bar prices in London City Airport.
Nice one. And we've got a special guest tonight sitting right next to me, in fact, so it's half a live show in the one house. And it's my good mate, Martin McCrum, for the Tommy Gemmell Community Project. How you doing, Martin?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me on the show, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. You're more than welcome.
Aye. So, as I say, you guys obviously know I've been Martin's been a hard taskmaster over the past few. And they're Toffee. Hello, Toffee. Aye, so Martin's basically the founder of the Tommy Gemmell Community Project, right? And obviously our first aim is to get a statue built in Craignuek in memory of the late great Tommy Gemmell. But after that, our aim is to build a lasting legacy for Tommy within Craignuek and the local community to help people that are struggling, basically, and local initiatives like Craignuek Amateurs, etc., Fitbit Team and things like that, help the local schools. So without further ado, what I'll do is I'll pass you to Martin. Martin can give a wee bit of background, and what I'd like Martin to do is take us back, because this has been a thing that's been going on for years, and Martin kind of wasn't getting much traction. Take us away for the start, Martin. On you go. The floor's yours, mate.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, as Jason rightly said, the statue, we call it more than a statue. That's the kind of mantra and the slogan we've got. Back in 2019, and prior to that, actually, people in the local area in Craignuek and Wishaw were saying it'd be great to get a statue of Tommy. And I was approached by different people to try and spearhead it. And whilst I wanted the statue up, I wasn't really wanting to spearhead it. I had enough going on in my life at that time. But then just took the decision to try and step forward with it. But early days met with resistance. There was still a lot of enthusiasm from certain quarters, but a lot of resistance from certain other quarters. And, North Lanarkshire Council was quite hard to deal with at the start until I chapped in the right doors. There was a bit of an announcement. There was a site chosen, and that site, we're in a second site now because of our resistance to the first site. So you don't need to work out why or who resisted us. So to put a few releases out in the local press about what the project was really about, it was about a working class hero that we all knew very well. I spent a lot of time with Tommy over the years, mostly in pubs, I have to say, and going abroad with him and different things. But I found he was still very attached to his working class roots, and that meant a lot to me with my background and the area that I come from as well. So we had a lot in common in terms of our values, and he always asked about Craignuek. So getting the project underway, started to speak to people, and I was kind of doing that myself at that time. And then looking to say, try and form a committee and speak to the right people and so on and so forth. And then after a period of time, COVID came in. So it all just kind of went in pause. And when we came back out of COVID, the Billy McNeill statue was underway and well underway. And I just felt it would be a wee bit disrespectful for us to, start pushing our agenda at that time. Because there's only so much money in the area and so many people in the area. And whilst it's great to have two statues, coming up very close to each other. I wanted it to be a separate focus. So last year, I was in Vegas at the convention. I'm a member of the San Francisco club. I've got family ties in the San Francisco club, and I go there often. But I go to Vegas often as well. And I spoke to Tam Donnelly, who may be listening just now, and Hugo Strani. And Hugo mentioned it for stage that I was picking up the pieces with the project again. And before you know it, one or two people came over to me, and I think 24 hours later, I was still in America. And Jason got in touch with me, and the rest was history. So that was good. But as Jason rightly said, the statue goes up, and it's a symbol of hope for us and for us all in the Celtic community, in the local area and all the other communities. But we want to, connect with the real values of the working class and make sure Tommy's remembered and have the Tommy Gemmell Community Award. We want to, upkeep the local football park where Tommy played, the Humph as it's known in Craignuek. We can't even get the grass cut there at times now, so we're going to try and provide finance, have a summer fair, have football there, have women's football there, kids football there, have football coaches there. But more than that, work with the local schools, try and help people that are in need as well, and be a true charity in Tommy's name. So it's well underway. And the committee that's formed, we had a committee meeting last night, and I was just saying to Jason about how I felt when I came out the committee meeting. I just felt empowered again, because the excitement, the enthusiasm, we're moving forward now, but we're now a charity. We're a week old as a charity. We've been going for a while as an entity, but we're a week old as a charity. And it's real now. And part of the ground's been cleared, and the plans are all coming together. So there's more events coming, football events, local events like Bongo Bingo for the ladies was mentioned last night, which is great. And, we're going to have a saunter into Celtic Park from Craignuek, and the details of that will be released on the website within the week as well. So we're about 3/4 of the way in our journey financially, and I think by this time, well and truly by this time next year, that statue will be up, and everyone will be able to come and see it for all far and wide. So it's got a charity with a true connection to the community. So hopefully that's a bit of information for you guys.
Brilliant. So to touch on the saunter, we're not really want to call it a walk, but big that's organised, it isn't want to call it a walk. But the details will be up on the website next week, and it's going to be the 19th of October, Celtic home game to Aberdeen. We're going to leave for the Tommy Gemmell statue at 8 in the morning, and we're all going to walk to Celtic Park. And what we're going to do is we're going to make it £10 to register to walk, and with that £10, you'll get a Tommy Gemmell t-shirt. So basically, we're going to get t-shirts printed for the day, and all we need is the £10 and the size of the person taking part in the walk or the saunter. And we've got the route carved out. So we walk down through Craignuek, down through the Beehive Brae, up through Motherwell Precinct, down by the bridge walk, down to Bells Hill, and then we go to the Billy McNeill statue, we go to the Caesar statue. We'll maybe pick up some of the Bells Hill guys. We're trying to get them involved, the Caesar committee as well. They could join us there. Then we'll walk on through View Park to the Jinky statue, and then hopefully some of the comrades from View Park will join us, and then we'll head on into Celtic Park. And we hope to be in Celtic Park for between 1 and 2 o'clock on match day against Aberdeen. So exciting times, and we're hoping our target's up 100. But I reckon we could get a lot more than that.
I reckon we will. Jason.
For anybody listening, just keep your eyes peeled to the Tommy Gemmell website and register your interest. And that'll be another wee cog and a wee milestone as well.
I think it'll be a big leap forward after that, Jason, to tell you the truth. I think we'll be nearly there. And, the statue, all the plans are in place and the design's getting done. We've sent pictures away to, the guy that's making the statue. And so he's received them today and acknowledged that, and so we'll see what designs come back. And it's exciting times. Another statue commemorating an amazing man, a local man, but a lion as well. So that's what it's all about for us.
Yeah, and a wee thing, we've got a group chat, right, where all the committees on it, and Mary Gemmell kindly came to the meeting last night, Tommy's wife, and she's now on the group chat. So we've got fucking eyes watching us. So, but it's all good. So I think she was quite took aback the day with the wheels in motion and the things that were actually doing.
Mary's an amazing woman anyway, you know, and Mary and Nicky, they're coming down for Dunblane, which is just absolutely amazing. But I have to say as well, Jason, pay tribute to the guys in the committee, very devoted, you know, Caitlin, Anne Francis, Martin, Darren, you know, Pat. You know, we're all just chipping in, and we've got one or two local supporters. Joe Miller is a good friend of ours, and Joe Miller for 2019 has been helping us with it, you know, and really been really supportive and so on. So if any of you know Joe, you know what he's like. You know, he's absolutely, he's a character and a half, but he's got great ideas, and he appears at these meetings for nothing. He's done gigs as well, you know, for us as well, and really helped us fundraise with his connections. So it's all been going the right way because of all the energy and the commitment for the committee.
Brilliant. So that's our wee update for the Tommy Gemmell Community Project, and that's it. So any questions you have, guys, just fire them up.
just got a couple. So Martin, that's really nice to hear the kind of background and a bit more of the history around, you know, where this all started from. Jason has kind of told us a lot about this, and I don't think you should underplay the community side of what you're doing here. You know, I mean, it's an obvious thing for all us Celtic fans how important this statue is to all of us, but it's not just about that, as you quite clearly said. You know, it's about doing the Celtic ethos and trying to bring, you know, support and benefits into the wider community there. So, you know, you'd like to think that, you know, people that are not narrow-minded and are outside of the Celtic circle will appreciate that to some degree and see the wider benefit of what you guys are bringing. So I think that's something, you know, it's really good to hear that, and that's something you should keep kind of banging on a bit about as well, because it's a bigger thing than just a statue to one of our legends.
The statue is really just the start, Liam. You know, it's really just the start. It's a symbol of hope, and I hope it sparks somebody somewhere to make the right decision about their lives. You know, and times are tough. We all know that. Yeah. So it's a symbol of hope for us. You know, and I just hope we see another Tommy Gemmell coming through the ranks. I just hope we can touch somebody's heart and inspire them to do the right thing and give them a focus in their lives. You know, and I mean, Tommy's story was amazing. Coming, you know, going to the Ravenscraig, the Steelworks, and travelling in to Celtic Park with Jinky, falling asleep in the bus, you know, and all the rest of it. It's humble beginnings, and we've reconnected with that, and that really means a lot to us in the committee and the surrounding area. But I really appreciate you know, giving those words there. That really means a lot to us. That's what the spirit of the statue is about.
Definitely, and it stood out from the update that you gave there. So it's really heartening to hear that kind of emphasised a bit more as well. And very, very jealous that you've had the privilege of spending time with such a special person and classing them as a friend as well. So I'm sure you've got 100 stories that you've had. We've heard a couple of good ones off Jason before.
I do, and pictures as well. I'll need to dig them out at some point. But you know, Tommy and I we just get really friendly. I think it was the Craignuek thing, and he used to phone me on a Friday when I worked in Glasgow, and we just go for a pint.
Brilliant.
And we just chatted for hours, and it just evolved from there. It was kind of more than once a week actually, you know, and it was over several years, and just going to different events with each other as well, and so on. It was brilliant, and I can remember the Craignuek bus. This was a way back. I can't mind the year. But because I was a member of San Francisco Supporters Club as well, I've got family in San Francisco. My uncle was a guy called Richard McKenna, who was my hero, my go-to guy, who was my godfather. But all the guys in San Francisco Club are very special. And I contacted them for the Craignuek bus, you know, Craignuek Tommy Gemmell. And I said it'd be good if we could swap T-shirts with Tommy. Brilliant. In Las Vegas, and we've done that, and wee Bertie was there and all the rest of it as well. And I've got 8 pictures somewhere as well. So Tommy's running about with a Tommy Gemmell t-shirt on and a San Francisco t-shirt on and all of that kind of stuff. So a million stories. But I just found his humility. I brought him back to Craignuek a few times to go into the Era Bar, which was infamous. That's where I drank, and as well as the King Lud as well. And the place just lit up when he walked in the door. He was a giant, man. and his achievements. I just feel that we need to reconnect with that, you know, and we're on our way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, you know, modern day players, obviously, with a big barriers put up around them, we don't get anywhere near them anymore. You know, I mean, I'm sure they're all decent, humble guys as well, you know, but they just live in a different bubble now as to what it was back in the day. And, you know, all of our Lisbon Lions all just seem like down to earth, working class people who are just, you know, no hairs and graces to them at all. So, you know, as you've met lots of them and spent time with them, I'm sure you've experienced that as well. So it's really good to hear that kind of, you know, that kind of experience that you're having. And we interviewed a guy, I don't know if you know him, Johnny Owen, before, who's involved down at Nottingham Forest, and he's best pals with John Robertson, and he goes out once a week with him. And he's like, you know, you walk around Nottingham and he's just like God down there, but he's just his drinking pal once a week, you know. And it's really nice to hear those stories from people who just kind of, you know, get to meet your heroes, but they're just normal people who just like a bit of crack and a bit of fun, which is great.
He was, and he never forgot his roots. That was the main thing for me and for us, to tell you the truth. That's why this is so important to so many people. And I think as well, given the area that we come from, everybody's chipping into it. So it's their statue. We're just facilitating the movement to get it up there, but it's their statue. And it's a piece of that for everybody. And I just hope that everybody comes from all over the world to see it, you know, and we're very proud that we can contribute to another statue for the Lions as well. Yeah,
that's great. I mean, I stay in Rutherglen, Martin, and obviously Bobby Murdoch from here. My kids went to school as him. And
what a player and what a man.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by him because of the locality of it. But you'd never know he was from here unless you dig around, you know. Like, there's no proper accolade to him here. And I know, you know, Scott and the guys are kind of interested in doing something in that regard. And I would love to see.
Once this statue's up, it's all steam ahead to get the ball.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be definitely supporting that, and we've got a blueprint that it's working. You know, it really is working, and there's no reason why we can't help each other with that at all.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic to see that happen.
Right, and the thing as well, look, the Caesar statue guys, they've been amazing.
They've been great with us.
You send them a message and they get back to you straight away.
They're good.
All the advice that you need, and because they've obviously been through it, they've walked the walk. So, as I say, once this is up, then you've got two groups that's walked the walk. So, I think it'll be easier for the statues to go after this because we know the pitfalls and etc. and can advise accordingly.
Yeah, I really hope we see it. You know, they should have been there a long time ago, but obviously, you know, Glasgow's it's got its own unique place, and that sort of stuff doesn't always go to plan. But you know, how good would it be to see them all recognised? And you know, having Jim Craig there last week to unfurl the flag was brilliant. But he's looking older and frailer now, so you know we've got to just cherish these guys as much as we can while we can.
Yeah, 100%.
Without a doubt.
Can I just ask a question about the walk there, Jason? What's the distance going to be in terms of the route you've just mentioned there?
It's about between 13 and 14 mile.
Right, so you're looking at 5 hours at least, wouldn't you, really, for most people then?
Yeah, so that's how, leave at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Comfortably, everybody will get there before the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That should be good. That's brilliant. And going past the other statues as well, that's fantastic. So
well, that's really pretty unique, isn't it?
Aye.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. So hopefully we can get a bit of excitement around it. You know, everybody knowing about it happening today. But we're going to go large on it next week with the website and social media and so on. Got to admit, Caitlin Ferris has been an absolute stalwart trying everything out in social media for us. Caitlin is a great organiser, so she's been brilliant with that. She'll kill me for mentioning her name right enough.
I know. Big Darren as well.
Darren's brilliant.
He's actually drove the route, so he knows exactly the route. And I think we've got the 5 water stops on the way there as well. And obviously, with the time in the morning, we maybe need to coincide it. Hopefully, we get a couple of pint stops as well.
I was going to say water stops, emergency can stops, Jason. Let's be honest.
So we'll have so basically, if anybody's want to bring any kids with them under 16, right, it just means we'll need to put it in a disclaimer that the person that brings them will need to be responsible for them, etc. So we'll all be stewarding, etc. But we can't have like gangs of kids coming that then we're responsible for, etc. So there's certain, we'll need to put some guidelines down, but I'm sure it'll be a great success.
Yeah, none of my kids will walk 13 yards, mate. Never mind 15 miles. So I don't think many of them will. The young ones will. So we'll see how we get on. But listen, I think it'll be brilliant. We'll promote it on this show all the way through. I think you'll get a lot of people who can't make it or happily chuck some money in as well. So I'm sure it'll be a roaring success.
Aye, so hopefully everybody that walks it, if everybody can try and get sponsorship of £100, right? At the end of the day, you don't have to have £100, but that's a kind of guideline we'd like for people to get.
It'll take us closer.
And if we can get 100 people, obviously being a charity now as well, if we can get 100 people, get £100, you're talking 10 grand, and then you've got your gift aid on top of that because we're a registered charity now. So, as I say, that'll nearly take us to our target, you know, and we'll still have another couple of nights. There's a night going to get planned up in Lockheed. We're going to have a big final night in the Parochial Hall in Craignuek. We'll have a day in the King Lud. And as I say, the amount of people, the Ross family through the Railway Tavern,
they've been amazing.
You know, see the things people have been doing to help has been unbelievable. And so it's all good, and it's guys in Craignuek as well. You know,
the Craignuek boys have been phenomenal,
amazing. So
phenomenal.
Just too many to mention. You know, the amount of people that's actually.
Matt McGowan's donated a few times as well. You know, and over in the White House, you know, in Hollytown. As well, brilliant. There's just different people coming in all the time, and money from all over the place. It's incredible.
And obviously, the Craignuek Tommy Gemmell Celtic supporters club, they've been absolutely brilliant.
They have, they have.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
Did you guys say it's going to be up in the next year? Are you confident of that now?
We're pretty confident that we know obviously we need to hit the financial target first of all, and we're our feet are on the ground. And we're not overconfident, but we're mildly confident that we can do that.
We're hopeful the groundwork will start getting. We'll have the plans for the groundwork up in the next few weeks, and then because the council's actually cleared the area where the statue is going to be.
Brilliant.
So within the next couple of months, the groundwork will be starting. I would be pretty confident in saying that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Exciting times. Well done to all of you involved. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
So Mr. McCory, he'll be next. He'll be running the Bobby Murdoch statue. Are you there, Scott?
I'm indeed, mate. Aye, sounds good, guys. Well done. Aye. It was a nice update, Martin. Thanks, I appreciate it.
No bother, Scott. Just in Bobby Murdoch, I absolutely adore Bobby Murdoch as well. I met Bobby many a time, and he was very friendly when he came over to America. Very friendly with my uncle that I mentioned earlier on. So I had the privilege again meeting a giant amongst many. It was amazing. And I still speak.
It looked like Liam was saying there. So I met Bobby a few times. God, I remember one time he was behind the bar back when I was just frequenting the Vogue. But I can't say I fucking knew him like the same way you know. However, I'm still kind of happy to say that I met the man, because like you say, he was my dad's hero. Because I mean, Jinky kind of got all the plaudits, didn't he? And fucking,
he did.
And then it was just interesting. Now your dad's always your hero, and your dad kind of goes, "Aye, Bobby Murdoch was the real superstar." Aye, it's funny. I always steal a line off him. I always steal fucking. Why run when you can never outrun the ball? And I did with the Wayne's football. I'm like, hey, any use faster than the ball? And now they're only 8-year-old. Oh, I am faster. And I just go, right, you run that fence, and I fuck the ball off the fence. I'm like, so, but no. I've spoke to the boys about it. I'm not going to put any promises on them. I've just spoke to the guys near the bus, and I says, guys are doing it up the road, and they're doing it for their local guys. So if ever somebody's going to do it for Bobby Murdoch, it should be us. So it's been spoke about anyway.
Yeah.
Right, so what's the script now, Are you getting else to add, or we move on to the game?
I think that's the kind of the most recent update. It's underway. The plans are underway. We're just waiting. The design's coming back to the guy that's making the statue, who's just been absolutely brilliant. He's a big Gemmell fan as well, by the way, and he's coming up to one of the games in September. I'm going to get him into one of the games. He's going to meet the guys. He's invited us down to the Foundry and all that type of thing. So it's all real now, guys. Mm-hmm. It's real. It's no just starting. We're in the tail end yet now.
One of the funny things Martin said last night, you don't even think about this thing. he's already got a Tommy Gemmell model picked out. He's got a guy who is the same size, build, etc. Tommy, that will be wearing a Celtic shirt, and he'll actually use that to sort of form,
sketch things,
sketch it. You know.
Yeah.
Jason, if you can see the screen here, D Boyle's put up a comment for YouTube, and he said, "Are you lads going in to have a wee night on the 19th after the match and saunter?" You keep calling it walk, saunter. And how do you donate if not and can't make the saunter?
Well, we've not really decided that yet. We'll see how the legs are after the day. It'd be good. But you know, the Tommy Gemmell website is basically all the W's, tommygemmellcp.co.uk, and it'll be on social media, on Twitter and Facebook and so on as well. And we got a lot of traction, a lot of interest with that. So all the information will be there. But it'd be great to think we could have a night after, but I think we'll need to talk that man through.
Aye. What we'll do is, so the lassies are going to do the bombs or bingo, but we'll definitely get another night soon, and we'll put details up, because Pat Murray was asking me the day as well, when we get another night. So I think the locals are desperate for another night, and it just brings the community together. And as I say, everybody's welcome. It's not just for locals. So it'll be on the website. We've a hell of a lot to discuss last night, and
we've done all right.
So
we've done all right.
We're getting the saunters and that's in the pipeline. That's happening.
Celtic saunter.
And so stay tuned. There'll be plenty of things happening. But as I say, and the bottom line is, once we get the money secured for the statue, that's just the start of it. You know, this is a community project for Craignuek and the surrounding areas, and as I say, we want to help as many people as we can, and we want this to go from strength to strength. And this is going to be like a long-term project. Tommy's memory is going to be remembered even after we're away. You know, just to keep the flame burning. So there'll be plenty of things going on. So yeah, but as I say, anybody wants to make a donation, the website's there. We'll share the link after this show.
Yes.
And if anybody wants to make a donation, and as I say, we're now a registered charity. So there's gift aid available as well then, once you put a donation in. For anybody that's got a company or anything like that wants to donate, you know, it's always a big thing for those guys, obviously the tax implications. So it's a big thing for us being charity registered now. So, yep, everything's real and it's happening.
I've tried to put the link in the chat 3 times, but for some reason it's not letting me do that. So I'll keep playing around and try and get it in there.
Excellent. Thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate you giving me the chance of putting some of the information across to the audience there. Thank you.
In fairness, Jason made us.
By the way, he's very inspirational, isn't he? When he wants something done. There you go.
He just keeps slapping you in the head till you listen.
By the way, he's been brilliant with the charity. Brilliant. So there you go.
Aye. Good. Excellent, mate. Excellent. Again, as Liam said, thanks very much for the update. Right, so we're moving on to the weekend's game. Everybody was there, I presume?
Yep.
No Joe to fucking let us down. But so thoughts, just in general, thoughts on it. Liam.
I thought it was really impressive. Just a continuation of what we've seen in pre-season, really. Most of the team available, I think it's Mieda was missing, I think. Johnson coming straight back in, which was good news for us. We just carried on from where we left off against Man City and Chelsea. We've got an absolute diamond of a midfield trio in place just now, and we're all shitting it nervously about Matt O'Reilly leaving us to just now, as we look so good. But you know, Hatate, as evidenced by what Brendan Rodgers said, looks to have his head in the right place and his body in the right place, and he's right on his game this summer. O'Reilly's just on a different level, as you know, and you know McGregor's doing his usual stuff, and we've got loads of pace and directness. Kyogo is playing as well as he's played since he's been with us, in my opinion. You know, unlucky not to probably have a hat trick on Saturday, but his movement, his running, his link up play, he's back to his very, very best. It was just a joy to watch, to be honest with you. I could have sat and watched it for 3 hours. You you know, great victory, great result, great start to the season for us. Not too much more to add. You know, everything ticked the box for us on Sunday.
Chibo.
Aye, there was no bad news at all, wasn't there? No, it was just a treat to be there.
Flood.
Especially with the pre-season, right? So obviously it's friendlies, right? You don't want to look to we've had shit pre-seasons before and we're on the great seasons, etc. And reverse with the great pre-seasons and the shit seasons. But you just seen the way they were playing, the way they were kind of gelling, and I think this is Brendan Rodgers' team now. You know,
The coaching's coming in, isn't it?
this is his team, and there's a definite way of playing. And Mr. Postecoglou is a distant memory now, as far as I'm concerned, because I think the way this team is playing. And funnily enough, I know everybody's panicking about transfers, etc. Obviously, with the Matt Riley probably imminently leaving us, right, it's going to leave a hell of a gap. But I just think the team that we've got at the minute, the way they're playing with each other, it's just a treat to watch. And that on Sunday was absolutely superb. I thought Kyogo was absolutely magnificent. He was, as you say, Liam, I don't think he's played better at all.
Yeah.
Since he signed.
That break down the left and the ball for Hatate, that movement was incredible, and you know, it deserved to go.
Right.
It really did. It was just absolutely magnificent the way they put that together, and it's all coming together.
Aye, but Hatate, he's looking unbelievable as well.
Yeah.
You know, Big Carter Vickers strolled the game, and what can you say about Casper Schmeichel? Not really too much because he didn't do much, but I tell you, he looks the part, and I think he's going to be massive for us this
He's
season.
fit, man.
I think, Jason, what you can say about him, and I've gone ball deep on him obviously this summer, but see his passing all through the game. It was as good as like any one of the defence or whatever, you know, pinging balls into the middle of the park, along the floor. He's so much more assured with the ball at his feet, which I think will be a big advantage to us. And that's not a criticism of Joe Hart, but I think Schmeichel excels at doing that, to be honest. So I thought that was a big addition to our play that was noticeable.
Yeah. Well, without a doubt, and you can tell as well, see, like the thing that's getting me as well, I see every goal we score, Matt Riley looks the happiest guy in the world, and you're like, he's going to fuck off shortly. But it's like, there's a massive togetherness there with the team, and it just seems like one big happy family. I mean, I know things can go tits up and whatever, but just the way it's feeling at the minute, it's just outstanding, you know, and you get so much pleasure watching Celtic playing like this. And obviously we'll touch on it, but going to Hibs on Sunday, Brendan Rodgers has historically struggled there nearly every game that we've played there. So if we can go there and have a big performance on Sunday as well, that kind of, because that has been kind of Rodgers' you know, that's been his kind of nemesis since he's came to Celtic. Easter Road's always been a kind of place where we've struggled. But so it'll be a big test because they're obviously no going good at all. But it's only the start of the season. But the way it's gone at the minute, it was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. I just loved everything about Sunday. And I tell you, a big special mention go to the Green Brigade and the work that they put into that tifo. That was unbelievable.
It was outstanding.
It was unbelievable, beautiful, and big credit to them all. Absolutely brilliant, and the work that went into that, you know, fantastic. So, no, Martin, you get in. You want to add about that?
Just thought it flowed really, really well. I thought there was an excitement in the team. I thought the shape of the team, they moved the ball quick. And you said about Riley being happy. I just thought all over the pitch, they just looked connected. They just swarmed all over the pitch. Early in the game as well, you seen the usual, everybody behind the ball, and I thought they'll need to break them down, and they did. And there was high tempo, and you always watch to see, can they sustain this? They did. They did, and it looks really, really good. I'm excited for this season, and I know we need to get players in and all that kind of stuff, you know. But right now, you know, job done so far.
How about you, Scott?
Everything you're saying, it was a thoroughly enjoyable day. I mean, I think the only fucking crappy thing was the rain in the trains. You know what I mean? That was fucking. But the game was thoroughly enjoyable. It was just a kind of carry on for how we finished last season, where I think we all no matter how much we want to give James Forrest and Kyogo and Cal McGregor coming back fit, and even Big Edad doing the job and all that, I think last year Rodgers came into his own a wee bit. He kind of proved. I was very critical at the start of last season because I felt he could have done better, and I still think that's the case. He was coming out and putting blame on different things, but I don't know, the arrogance of Rodgers seemed to turn up once the pressure was on. And this season, as you rightly say, whilst it's not his team in terms of who he's signed, but they guys have all bought into him, which is massive for us.
See that,
because the fact of the matter is, we're not paying them what we're paying them to just fucking beat the Huns by a point. We're paying them for the next level of stuff and to make it enjoyable. And Sunday was that. Sunday was an enjoyable game. I would say, I'd offset it and say we got a wee bit fortunate. We probably got Kilmarnock at the best time we possibly could. However, you've got to beat what's in front of you. They try to set up, and the wee Kyogo, I know Rodgers told you and Liam and whoever else that he's no changed Kyogo, but you can see Kyogo's changed himself. He's so much influence in the game. It's great to watch. I disagree with your assertions on the transfer thing. We're going to come to that, and do you know what I mean? I disagree on that. However, as me, Jason, you remember me, you, Liam, and Joe and Marty decided a couple of years back we're going to comment on what's in front of us, know what we think, and if Celtic were crap at the weekend, we'll call it crap, and if Celtic were brilliant at the weekend, we'll call it brilliant, and at the weekend, they're Celtic were brilliant. So they deserve ultimate applause for it. And as you say, see the Hibs game, again, we're going to come to the Hibs game. Since Hibs come back up under Neil Lennon, Hibs have taken at least a point off of us every season. Do you know what I mean? Every season.
Scott, what did I say about the transfer window, by the way? I don't remember mentioning it.
How do you mean?
Did you just say that you disagree about the transfer window?
No,
Jason
sorry.
says everybody's moaned about it, and I says, I miss.
It's not like you to miss something, Liam.
I know.
Aye, Liam, it wasn't all about you. This is not all about you, Liam, right? Just chill out, buddy.
To let Martin know, Liam knows every word that's been spoken this year. Fucking knows every word. By the way, so before we get away for Sunday, as well, I think special mention, right? A few players, Liam Scales, right?
Oh.
Everybody, I mean, I'm fully aware that Liam Scales is not the best centre half, right? But that boy gives us everything. And
he's an honest player.
How delighted were you for him getting the goal? He should have had two. You know what? Well, he was unlucky not to get two. And brilliant. I thought his goal, or albeit it took a deflection, but I thought his movement, his run, and everything deserved the goal. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And how delighted were you for Anthony Ralston getting that goal?
Do you know, I was pleased for him because he gets a bit of bad press every now and again, but he's a boy who tries his heart out, and he looked delighted to score it.
And do you know what? I think every football team, he's a kind of dream guy to have in your team, because he's not going to burst doors down to get playing.
He never will.
He's going to be, I would say, I'm not saying he's going to be happy that he's going to be in the bench, but as long as he plays his part on Celtic winning,
and he did,
and he's going to be and he's fit as a fiddle, and he's always fit. And as I say,
Ross County last year, that goal. I mean,
but wasn't it last year? It was 3 years ago. Was that his first goal at Celtic Park for 3 years? Or was that his first goal for Celtic for 3 years?
I'm not sure, Jason.
When was that header at Ross County? What year was that?
I was under Ange. Because sure, he scored that one, and he also scored the one at remember the opening day against Hearts. He had a great season under Ange first year.
Well, that was Ange's first game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Aye, that's right. Aye, but I thought special mention to them and another one as well, much maligned, Greg Taylor. I thought Greg Taylor was outstanding.
He played great. Great. He gave it all, you know.
I hope Celtic can get him tied into a new deal because he's in the final year of his contract. But there you go. So, Sunday.
It's interesting you say about Kuhn, right? Because I kind of disagree, but I agree. We were talking that I don't think he done much in the first half. He was trying. But a big thing that I often hear at game is the famous 65th minute substitution. And I always seen it, especially when I kind of coached, was you basically say to players at half time, unless they're totally done, you go, right, I need to see it now. I need you to come on and turn it up. And I would say couldn't go that shout because the second half, he was excellent, man. And you say he got that wee bit of luck, but he fucking deserved it, and he deserved another couple.
Well, come in here, definitely.
Really good.
Didn't have. By the way, see Hatate, what's the prognosis there? I've not really read too much. I don't listen to the odd podcast. When's Maida. When's he due back? Do we know?
I think the reading between the lines has been none. I mean, I've not even seen today's press conference. I think you're on a couple of weeks because he said in last week's that he was out and he was talking that because he usually tells you when they're back in the grass, doesn't he? But I mean, I never even knew he's fucking injured until he says it in that press conference last week. So just reading between the lines without any prior knowledge, I'd say you're looking at another week, 2 weeks at least.
Right, okay.
Which is a shame, isn't it?
Cool.
I watched the press conference earlier. It wasn't mentioned at all.
No. Did they ask him?
Not in the YouTube video I saw.
Right.
Whether it was edited or not, I don't know. But you want him back for the Rangers game, definitely.
Oh, definitely.
Aye.
He tortures them.
Yeah.
It's mad. You see that you say he tortures him. I always try to keep away from that because one day it just don't happen. But he fucking does every time he tortures someone.
That's great.
You could actually see if he get injured like in the first 10 minutes, you could actually see Tavernier probably celebrate. See the way
the relief.
When they punch the ball away or whatever, they celebrate and all that. Tavernier can do his knees, saying his prayers. Mind it off. But a good day at the office. On to Edinburgh.
Yep.
To answer your question, Jason, that was his first goal since Ross County, and that winner against Ross County, and his last goal for Celtic at Celtic Park was after that Hearts game when we beat Dundee 6-0.
Right. Okay. So
there you go. Away back then. When fucking he got a 1 year contract and we're all raging.
Delighted for him.
I know.
That's good.
Aye.
That's good.
I tell you, he's worth his weight in gold. I know he's not the best player in the world, but I tell you, his dedication to the cause and
totally committed.
He's there and he's always there, ready, if they need him. And he can put a good ball in, as I say. I like him, but I know he's not the most gifted player in the world, but much maligned by many quarters, but no for me.
I'm with you in that, Jason. He just gives his all,
right.
And if he gets a run of games, he gets better. You know what I mean? But come in and scored that goal. What more can you ask?
And I think when you look at the right back slots as well, there's a lot of talk about Greg Taylor, but I'm not wanting Greg Taylor out of the club. You're wanting a player of Johnson's calibre to come in on the left and give him that competition, or even better if you can. And if Taylor's your backup or he's playing half the games, you're delighted with that. Ralston gives you that similar on the other side. So that's what we want to see in the squad.
Competition for places is important.
Mega important. Aye. I'm going to bring up the chat here, right? So Stephen John seems to be having a go at me here. I don't really know what for, because I'm saying I disagree that we need players in, but he seems to be asking me who comes in if Kyogo's injured. Well, that's my bloody point, Stephen, but there you go. Just you crack on, my man. I'm havering, it seems.
But Stephen's been ranting for the podcast started, and I think it's me he's getting it, no you, Scott.
Well, he's clamping me, right? Because we'll come to I think we'll move on to McGregor. Just a wee chat, 2-minute chat about Cal McGregor. So I don't know if you know that Callum McGregor has announced his retirement for international football today. I was looking there, so 63 caps he's had since 2008, and he scored 3 goals, and he's obviously played the last 2 tournaments. I was actually surprised that he's been playing since 2008 for Scotland, and he's only scored 3 goals, and the first was against Croatia in 2021 in that Euros, which is surprising. I thought he would have had a couple at least, you know what I mean?
He always kind of plays like a kind of holding midfielder like that as well. But with Celtic, he's at times went forward, but with Scotland, he's kind of anchored a bit, you know.
Aye. Somebody had asked me, what do you think's kind of led? Because at 31, it's still kind of young, isn't it? Especially Cal McGregor, fit as a fiddle. But I think me personally, I think it's a mixture of things, right? Because since 2015, he's played over 40 games every season for us, generally scoring fucking 50. Playing 50. And I think he bust his ass to get back for that injury at the end of last season, and then to get to the Euros. And see, to be honest, Steve Clark's football doesn't suit him. Just doesn't suit him.
It doesn't. It doesn't. And he plays a lot of football, Scott, you know.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. I mean, he's selfishly, as somebody who wants Scotland to win, still, I'm delighted he's fucking wrapped it with him, and if we're still going to get the same product out of us, I'm fucking delighted. Because even when you see a wee dip after McGregor, it's right noticeable. Even though his wee dip still makes him one of the best players of the team, it's noticeable. So if we can get the best out of him, brilliant.
Yeah, I'm delighted, Scott. You know, from a selfish perspective.
You hate Scotland?
No, not at all. You know, I think he's so important to us, and getting those 2-week breaks at regular points of the season will be massive for him and will really help him. And I think he came out with an interview last week where he talked about that very thing about coming back for the Rangers game, and I think they said he was going to be 10 weeks out or something, or 12 weeks out, and he got himself back in 5 weeks, and he just talked about pain and breaking through the pain barrier and the mentality and all this sort of stuff, and it's fascinating to read and to hear what he was saying.
Well, you think he must have been, if he, knowing what he knows with that Euros and all that, he could have done with a proper break this summer.
Big time, yeah, big time. He's so important to us, and he's such a brilliant player, and it's his attitude that shines through so much. And you just think, you know, he's so close to Scott Brown, wasn't he? And he just seems to have kind of taken on all his best bits and added a few bits on top of that as well as a Celtic captain. So I think it's fantastic news for us. He doesn't appear to be wanting to go anywhere anytime soon as well. So long may he be part of our team and be leading us on to success.
You certainly notice when he's not there, and the influence is all round, you know, and it just connects the full team. It's great for us. So I'm pretty happy, and I'm like you, Scott. Great for Scotland, but I think the time's right, and we're going to benefit from that.
I think as well, see that from a Scotland perspective, obviously, they've kind of they get pumped. Do you know what I mean? They went there and they get pumped, and it's kind of there's like a new guard needs to come in, and they've got
100%.
Time for that now,
you know, and they've got an embarrassment of riches in the midfield. You know, you've got your Ferguson coming through, you know, Billy Gilmore and all that. So it's kind of time for those guys. And from a selfish point of view for Celtic, I'm delighted because it means he'll extend his time with us. You know, because when you get a break and it's an international break, he's not getting a break and he's away training. He's playing like 60 odd games a season. So, good for Celtic. So listen, Big Martin's ready to bow out. He's
going to the Principality of Craignuek. There you go. Just to thank everybody for having me on and giving us a chance to share what we're excited about, and you know, you'll all enjoy it when it's up there. So thanks for supporting us. Thanks very much, and God bless. Thank you.
That was brilliant, Martin. Thanks for your time coming
on. You're welcome back on any time, pal. That was excellent.
All right, mate. Thanks, everybody. Cheers, mate. So the McGregor thing, I'm more than happy. You know, I'm more than happy that he's hung. And see him. He's a clever guy, and he's like maybe not academically, but I'm not saying he's not academically clever, but he's very measured and he always does the right thing for the team. But he plays a hell of a lot of football. He starts every game, finishes every game. It fucking must take some toil in your body. And from a Celtic perspective, I think it's absolutely brilliant for us.
Aye, definite. Right, well that leads us nicely on then to the big one. Let's get fucking transfer windy daft. So as it sits in now, we've got to the 30th. I think it shuts on the 30th this year for us as well. The Friday night, is that correct?
I wouldn't know. I think so, mate.
Yeah. So far we have signed Casper Schmeichel. We've signed the other young goalkeeper that I can't remember how you say his name yet. And obviously we got Bernardo over the line last week. Ida's still up in the air, even though we're hearing fucking rumours he's in a fucking Blythewood hotel, kicking about, doing dirty things. But but we definitely need bodies in. I mean, Rodgers wants bodies in. If Rodgers was content with the squad and we weren't bringing guys in, I'd be a bit more comfortable with the situation. But it's repeatedly he's talking about it, and it's getting a wee bit frustrating. I'm choosing to be positive about it and that we'll get them done in due course. But as Liam says rightly on last week, we've been through this before and we've made an arse of it before. So thoughts and opinions, man?
I'm kind of, see, it's all a bit false. It's because the team's playing that well. We've had a good pre-season and we had see if we'd come out and could beat us on Sunday. Do you know what I mean? It'd be totally different, So if you take the transfer sort of situation separately for how I think the team's gone and how I think Rodgers has moulded the team, it's pish. I get that it's hard to get the right player in, and Brendan Rodgers wants the right player. So that's the thing I'm hanging on to. We're not just signing anybody. We've got specific targets, and it's taking time to get them over the line. Obviously, you need the club that they're coming for to agree with it. You need the player to agree with it, and obviously all the agents and that as well. So, and the thing as well, these clubs know Celtic have got a right few quid in the bank. So I've got no doubt that any player that we're approaching, they're probably adding a couple of million on it, which isn't ideal, but what do you do? We've added a couple of million on our players when we've sold them, and that's how we've made the money. So I think there comes a time when you maybe need to potentially overpay, or you take it to the wire and you risk no getting the player, which would be unforgivable, really, because this year, more than any, as I always say to you, Scott, I always say the second year a manager's in, it's their team. And with the new Champions League format, I think this year, more than any, we've got an opportunity to drive the club absolutely forward. So we need some signings in. And I'm pretty convinced Matt O'Reilly won't be there at the end of the transfer window. And I hope I'm totally wrong. But as I say, I'm pretty convinced he won't be there. So I would say we definitely need a centre. So either we probably need another one. We need another youth centre or a project or whatever to back them up. We need a central midfielder if Matt O'Reilly goes. We need a left back and we need a centre half. So there's 4 players. Do I think we'll get the 4 of them in? Probably no. But I think if we don't get any of them in, it's an absolute fucking disgrace, But we've still got a few weeks to go, so I'm hopeful. I'm very happy the way the fitness going, the way Brendan Rodgers has turned the team going, etc. But as per transfers go, I'm a wee bit worried, but I'm still calm enough, and I think we'll get the job done. I'm hanging on to that he wants the right player and not just any player. So hopefully we'll get a bit of quality coming
in. Liam?
Yeah, so I agree with pretty much everything Jason said there. I've been quite critical of the maniacs online who have been talking, losing the plot over the transfers every day. But in be honest, I've been that maniac every other transfer window before, and it's drove me mental. So I'm trying to adopt that, don't be impacted by what you can't influence type thing, and just enjoying the football just now. And I'm just saying, right, give it to the end of the month and then judge them when the transfer window shuts. But I'm not doing that based on any faith in the board whatsoever, because there's no track record there to suggest they've got the ambition, they've got the plan in place, they've got the strategy, they've got the infrastructure to go and do what the manager wants us to do. But I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt just now, and I'll judge it at the end of the window. The manager seems relatively relaxed about things, but it does get frustrating when he says, I want players in. Like, I'd like some in before we go to America. I'd like some in before the league starts, and now it's end of August. So I can see why fans get frustrated. But the manager has to go to these press conferences all the time and answer the same questions repeatedly, which must do his head in as well. So you can look at it two ways. You can say the manager's pretty clear in his targets. He's looking for players that probably wouldn't have salted down as their first choice. And now again, it's easy to say, well, if we're not the first choice, then let's move on and go for someone else. But it's just the food chain in the modern game in terms of where we are, not as a club, but in the league that we're playing. So if we want to look at these type of top level players, then we probably are going to have to bide our time and hope that a few things fall in our favour. And it might be that there's some bigger transfers to happen elsewhere that's going to then make some of the players available that we'd be looking at. It might just be squad fillers at the moment in terms of where they play at their own clubs. So, it feels to me like the manager's pretty clear about which positions he wants to fill, and I'd hope he's got some decent ideas about who he's trying to get on board, and it's just going to be a case of, taking it to the end of the window before these players become available. Now, again, you can flip that the other way and say, well, are we just focusing on players in England because it's not a great market to be shopping in for us? There are some players you can pick up from there, but in general terms, it's way overpriced. Not seeing many rumours of players from other leagues, one or two, I suppose, coming in there as well. But I don't know whether to say it's so quiet because we're doing our business so discreetly, or it's so quiet because there's pretty much fuck all going on. So again, without being able to influence, it's just whichever way you want to look at it. And I think Jason was hitting the nail on the head. The football's so good on the park just now. I'm just choosing to focus on that really and enjoy that element of it, and rather than get too frustrated with the transfers. But we've never ever been in a better position to show a bit of ambition and to move ourselves on and to have a crack at the Champions League this year in relative terms to us as a club. And we said it the last 2 years with the draws we had as well. But if we don't come out of this transfer window with at least 2 or 3 players that are in and around the first team and making a difference to the team, then you've got to ask yourself, where are we going as a club with this sort of money behind us? But like I said, I'm just choosing at this point just to be patient and wait and see.
Frustratingly enough, that kind of sums it up. I think I'll tell you the one that's kind of I think pretty weird is the defence, because you're looking at the defence, right, and he's obviously told Lagerbielke he doesn't fancy him, right? So Lagerbielke done. Kobayashi doesn't get a sniff. Plays a couple of fucking fills in somewhere in pre-season games, but that's a whack yet.
Yeah,
and it's becoming quite apparent that fucking he's no too keen on Narowski either. Narowski, whatever. And I think our inability to get rid of these guys, or on the flip side of it, our inability to get people in, is keeping them at the club. So I think it's either way. Now, I mean, we don't want to bring anybody else in unless we've got rid of them, or alternatively, or no letting them go until we get somebody in. Now, the Greg Taylor one, no matter what you think about Greg Taylor, and you think he's rotten, you think he's brilliant, you think he's got 1 year left of a contract, and we don't have anybody else. I mean, even all the young boys that we're talking about, the boy Anderson, Frame, none of them have had an extended run of games that allows you to believe that they're ready to step in and take the jersey off him.
Yeah.
So what happens if we undersell Taylor and Taylor goes, do you know what? I can go and get a better contract in this English Championship. Know what I mean? It kind of puts us into a situation for a club that's sitting with their boys on the table going, we've got fucking multi-millions in the bank. In the bank, no fucking credit rating in the bank. It's quite laughable. You get into midfield. James McCarthy, by all accounts, has been released and that's him done. I think we kind of heard this a few weeks ago, but it looks like I'd like to see it confirmed. But
it's true. It's true.
No, I know it's good, but I'd still like it confirmed. I mean, fucking letting him go out the back door, even just give him a fucking thanks. Thanks for trying that. I mean, but yeah, Matt O'Reilly, the Matt O'Reilly thing, you know, if we're going to sell Matt O'Reilly, I totally appreciate that we're wanting exactly what he's worth to us. And as you guys have rightly said, Liam, me and you were talking about it. I was all very comfortable with Matt O'Reilly leaving this summer. But then you watch pre-season, you watch our first game. That guy's fucking really, really important to how we play.
Yeah.
And that's a worry because Bernardo isn't that type of player, even though he was talking himself up about being that type of player. So again, if we're going to, I'd like that to be done now rather than the last day of transfer window where you've really limited in what you can bring in. With regards up front, it's a scandal where we are. I have to say it's an absolute scandal. The frustrating thing was there was going to be a bite back on Ida and Bernardo because see if you get them in straight away, everybody's happy. Everybody's appeased. But the fact that we've struggled to get two transfers that looked like the easiest transfers in the world to sort, and we've struggled to get them all. We've only got one done. We don't even know if the other one's getting done. There's going to be a bite back about that as well. There's going to be the same appreciation is going to be lost because we're seeing that should have been done. You fucking knew what you were doing there. You could have spoke to whoever months ago. Brendan Rodgers has said numerous times he wants three strikers. He wants either a proper backup and two guys challenging for the starting jersey. We've got one guy, and I went through the youth team, and we've got nobody challenging. There's no Rob there anymore challenging for that jersey. There's none. None of the young boys are up to it. So as Jason says, we need to get to. We fucking need to. And again, talking about it kind of gets me frustrated. I want to chill out a bit, but the thing is, you say, Kyogo fucking pulls up. Where are we going? Where are we going? I mean, what are we doing? Fuck me. Mikey Johnson up front again. God's sake, I thought that experiment died fucking 5 years ago. Know what I mean?
More lives than Lazarus, him.
It's mad. It is mad. Again, what about Liam Shaw? How's he not got a game? Graham Taylor, 26, just married, could be tempted by a big wage move down south. Wouldn't blame him either. That's basically my point. I mean, we're kind of, it's a lot of supposition on our part, but Celtic don't fucking lead us to anything else, do they? They don't use any. Brendan Rodgers is coming out speaking to people outside Parkhead saying he hopes so. He's saying things in the press conference today. It doesn't marry up. As a club, we're in such a good position. And this is fucking garbage, isn't it? Know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, as every podcast that I've listened to for the last 2 weeks, every one of them are inviting Celtic to make an arses. Every one of them are inviting Celtic to go and fucking rattle every box we need tick and then go fucking pipe down you a bunch of losers. And I swear, I joined that queue. I hope they make an arses, but right now it's very frustrating for the position we're in.
Yeah, I think Scott, you made the point earlier there about, you know, going out and spending the money and just pushing out a bit to get the players that we want. And if you look at what we've seen so far, I think I mentioned this a bit last week, but Bernardo we seem to have haggled for ages to get Bernardo's fee down from reportedly 6 million to 3.5 million, and we've increased the sell-on fee percentage from what we see out there. So, and then Ida again, just rumours, but I think Norwich were wanting 7, 8, 9 million for him, and we're not willing to go more than 6 by the sound of it, and that's what we're going to end up on. And it feels like the board or the club are dead set on they have a value of a player, and they're not willing to move from that position. And that they might reflect and say, well, we've proven ourselves to be right by getting Bernardo in for 2.5 million less, and if Ida comes in, well, we've got him for what we wanted to pay for him ultimately, and that's all right, but that's not going to get you players at the sharp end of the market. Do you know what I mean? Where you want to really go out there and push a bit. So that's worrying me a little bit. That's not good signs that like you said, we've taken so long. Ida, I think, is very different to Bernardo because we didn't have that fee in place, right? So we were negotiating from against the wall rather than kind of in the middle or in a position of strength there. The Bernardo one, we had the fee, we could have paid it. We didn't feel it was worth that just now. We've got it over the line, but the Ida one, obviously, we weren't in that position. But so I keep saying this, we're going to have to show some ambition. Some of that ambition is going to have to be potentially just overpaying a little bit for a real quality player or players. And, the board need to be able to do that. And, we talked about Peter Lawwell. We've seen the blogs that have come out this week, and, you've got an accountant, and there's a big debate about how much involvement or control or influence he's got at the club still. But Celtic have got all the hallmarks of having that an accountant in charge of the purse strings for 20 odd years just now, and we're going to have to break that cycle if we're going to meet the ambition of what we think the manager wants to see us in the transfer market.
I totally agree with you, Liam, but the thing that kills us is the wage structure, because let's face it, we're not getting top class players coming to us for the wages that we pay, and as much as for the working man in the street, you're saying if you offer somebody 35, 40 grand a week, which I don't even know if we would offer somebody 40 grand a week, McGregor must be on like 30 odd, right? You would think Tate, Kyogo, they came from Japan, but you would think their wages would be bumped up. Probably not at that level. Carter Vickers, I don't know what but they would be on roughly the 30 grand mark, I think. You would think now, but knowing Celtic, who knows? But are we going to pay somebody 50 grand a week? I don't think there's any chance in hell. And hence, that, although it's disgusting for normal working class people, these top football players will get that somewhere else. So why the hell are they going to come to us? So if Celtic don't sort of change the wage structure, and by that you maybe be pissing off established players in the dressing room, etc., or would they just be glad that a class act would be coming in?
Jason, sorry again. You were at the Q&A with Brendan Rodgers, and he specifically said that the wages in England are like. He gave a quote, didn't he? I can't remember what he said, but you kind of, the wages are, a basic player, basic 20-year-old in England will be earning 20 grand a week or something when they're not even made a first team appearance or they're just on the periphery of the squad. So he will know that after being down there for so long. See, if that's true, and we are just focused on England, and we won't break the wage structure. It's like, what's the point? What's the point? Do you know what I mean? It just you're fishing in the wrong pond there in terms of what you're trying to get, and it feels like our wage structure hasn't developed really since Martin O'Neill's time.
Well, you're right. You see, when you think back, I don't know, I might be way out here, but has Henrik Larsson potentially been our highest paid player ever?
I reckon that last contract he signed, yeah, probably.
And how mad is that when that's 10 years ago? Or more than 10 years ago? We've not had a player that's earned more money than that. And you look at the other leagues in the world, how wages have increased. We've fucking decreased.
It's 20 years, isn't it? Awesome, over 20 years, isn't it?
20 years. Like I've said, 10 years.
Yeah.
18, 19 years, aye. And he's probably been our highest paid player ever.
Yeah.
And so their wage structure, it makes it impossible to sign good players. I don't mean good players. You can sign good players for other markets. We've done it with Kyogo, Hatate, Maeda, etc. But if we're not looking in the markets now, if we're not getting these guys in, it's I think that we just need to realise the only ready-made players we could sign would be an Ida or a Miovski or, and these guys aren't ready-made to play in European football at the top level.
Yeah.
So I mean...
See, Jason, the way I look at it, right, I think Scott might have mentioned this to you last week, but see our strongest 11 there, right? I think we've got 8 players that are good enough to play in the Champions League and be competitive, right? I think the only areas in the team are probably Kuhn is a bit unproven, and then Scales and Taylor. I think you can improve on them, but I'm not worried about Greg Taylor being there too much, and Scales has proven himself to a degree. But the other 8 players in that starting 11, they are good enough to compete, I think, at the level we're going to go into. But I'm not looking for us to sign top Premiership players or top Spanish players. If we can bring in players of the same quality as Johnson, Carter Vickers, Hatate, O'Reilly, Maeda, Kyogo, and we've proven that we can do that. If we can get 3 or 4 more of that level of player, if you had another Carter Vickers next to him, if you had someone like Johnson on the left playing there, and then you had another Maeda stroke Jota on the right-hand side, that would be a big improvement to the team. That would be the quality that we're looking for there. So we've proven that we can do it. We've proven we can find players in that ballpark. So, it's just finding more of them, and maybe that's a lot harder than we're saying here, but they are definitely there.
I mean, I sent a tweet out to Iker Mignon himself. What do you mean he's not signing yet? Fucking hell. Why? I mean, guys like him, that would be your ideal guy.
Yeah.
Somebody like that's at the end of their career, wants a final swan song, fucking iconic football club. Why not?
He could play anywhere in the front 4 or 5 positions as well.
Right. Oh, but as a fucking midfielder, he'd be unfucking believable.
Yeah.
But do we operate in the markets or with that? I don't know.
Well, what sort of money would he be on, Jason? What sort of money do they pay?
Oh, they pay top wages, but
right.
he wouldn't be asking for that kind of money now. Maybe he'd get it in America or something, I don't know. But he would have been on, I don't know, what, 60,
right,
something like that, 50, 60 grand a week maybe. Athletic pay really good wages,
But a free transfer, you could easily pay him 40 grand, couldn't you, for a couple of years to get him through the door?
Okay, it'd only be a year. You could give him 50 grand. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But he would be able to play at any level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah. I think as well, a lot of the frustration for people, and we all feel this, is we're the richest we've ever been. We're all seeing our season book prices go up every year. We're getting less games for the season books, no cup games for free or fuck all. I went up to the store today to get my pals buy a kit down in Birmingham. The printing, the price of the printing's gone up this season. Fucking kits coming out left, right, and centre. And you're like, there's fuck all. There's no. It's not like they say, well, cash rich will make some concessions, or we'll look after the fans, or we'll make any type of gesture. It's just piling on the fucking.
Totally. Our wages are going up. We're not paying the players any more wages. We're probably fucking cutting their wages for what they were getting years back, and they're still fucking lumping fucking everything onto us. And as I say, don't get me wrong, right? We are the big money earner for Celtic, apart from transfers. So now we're making a lot of money in transfers, but they're not giving that back to us. We're getting nothing. I mean, as a gesture, see if you're not going out and signing fucking top quality players, and you're just signing like fucking, at least reduce the season ticket prices and say everything. This is what we're investing back in the fans, because you're the most important, not the players. But no.
Yeah, even freeze them.
Do you think there is? I would always think Marty's the guy to fucking talk about this, but do you think there is a ulterior motive to stockpiling dough? Do you know what I mean? Is it fucking been primed to be punted on? Is it been primed to make a major investment somewhere within the grounds? Is it major investment to the main stand? Is it major? Is it fucking we've got to pay something? Don't know. Do you know what I mean? Is it something like that? Because it makes no sense for a club to stockpile that amount of money.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
No. I know.
Well, there's
I mean,
nothing.
what Marty says about O'Reilly rings true at this point, isn't it? We're waiting for O'Reilly to go. And once O'Reilly goes, Rodgers, you can spend that.
But that doesn't make sense. I mean, we've got the O'Reilly money. We've got it times 3 already there, sat in the bank.
No, mate, I'm as bewildered as you are, sir. I am throwing it out.
I don't know, Scott. And the thing is, see, you made the point, right? We heard a rumour that a good pal of yours that's got a good source that Matt O'Reilly's deal to Brighton is sort of it's on. But whether it is or not, as I say, there was a rumour that somebody close to this podcast gave us a snippet and he had a good source and he says the deal was agreed in principle. So whether that's the case, but you made the great point, Scott. Well, if it is, get him out the door ASAP so that we can replace him.
Yeah.
But is Bernardo already that replacement?
No, the thing is, Jason, if everything else was in place, I'd be content with Bernardo given a chance to step up and then Home would go into his position. I'd be content with that. However, the left back's a problem, the centre half's a problem, the up front's a problem, the wingers are a problem. The manager has repeatedly said each of these areas are a problem and they're not getting fixed. Fix all of them, then I repeat, I'd be content to say, Bernardo, go and you prove yourself to be the man to step up. But you can't be putting Bernardo in as a fucking maybe he'll be as good as Matt O'Reilly when we know the defence isn't fucking top of the tree. We know where a Kyogo injury away if he's struggling up front. Do you know what I mean? I mean, right now we've turned to James Forrest, and in their harms, James Forrest has stood up. But we shouldn't be turning to James Forrest. We shouldn't have, man. It's quite frustrating. I repeat, it's frustrating because we seem to be in a good place. The club seems to be in a good place. And who is it keeps saying it? If you get the supporters, the board, and the management all gone into one place, we're unstoppable. And it just takes us to go and spend 20, 30 million, maybe on 3 players, getting them all a decent wage. And then you get into Champions League where you're ready to rock and roll. I mean, you're talking there about all that money. You forgot about the fucking Champions League briefs. They're going to be striking us 50 bang on a ticket. You're going to get hit with a £200 bill if you pay it. And I know you boys sit in a nice seat, so you should be paying a fair bit more than me. You know what I mean?
Oh, doesn't be a think about
it. doesn't fuck.
Even today's got a 75 quid come out for 3 seats for Hibs, the cup game.
Aye.
And then you've got the rest to go. You're like, fuck me, man. No friendly, no nothing this year again. Second
as you see, the business, when Celtic are doing well, it's funny that the Celtic support get criticised because they only kick up when we're not doing well. But on the flip side, the board only seem to fucking give shit when they fucking really they're struggling.
Aye.
You know what I mean? See when they're flush with money, they don't seem to be fucking passing it down. I went on a rant the other day. Right, I personally think, not that this is ever going to happen, and it's total pie in the sky, but the SPFL, the top league, should be 25 quid a ticket, home and away, every team. The championship should be 20 quid a ticket, and so on. And see the Champions League, if UEFA cared so much about fucking world football, instead of making money, they should tell every club involved Champions League tickets are £30, and that's it. Nobody can charge us 80 banger like PSG and Munich, or no so much Munich, PSG and fucking Anderlecht. Nobody can. I mean, who was it was moaning at us, the Ukrainians, weren't they? Fucking your prices are ridiculous, and they're fucking
absolutely ridiculous. But here's the flip side. See, Athletic Club, for all that their fans are the best in the world, see the club, I mean, the tickets we bought for the derby, the tickets I got in the main stand were 90 odd euros. So I'm going out to the Basque Country in a few weeks, and Tony texts me and he says he's in the queue, right, and he had cheapish tickets, but they fell out his basket. The only tickets left for the Atletico Madrid game are €100 each. €100. Don't even hang, you're watching top quality football, but €100 How the fuck is that affordable to watch punters?
But this is a big thing. I mean, football's got to the point that they're wanting you to be like American sport, where you'll go to 4 and 5 games a season, and everybody else. But Scotland's not going to be like that. Do you know what I mean? But that's the way the EPL want it. The EPL want it that every week they've got to turn over a different fans, and they'll all come in and they'll all buy a jersey and all that. I don't think football now, European football giants, want season tickets.
Nah, Liverpool set that model years ago.
Yeah,
but
I don't think they want that. That's why the tickets.
50% of the stadium season tickets, 50% day trippers that are paying fortunes.
Have you seen? I don't know if you've seen. I think it was Spurs or someone that they're doing away with concession tickets down there, and I think they're trying to do the same thing. Just reduce the amount of season ticket holders, and it's fucking shite to see all this, man. But it's totally the way it's going. But they're down there particularly, not so much just now. But
the irony, Liam, right, is we're getting left behind by European football.
Yeah.
Year and year and year and year. And instead of kind of closing into ourselves, we're still clinging on, and we're acting like a big club in everything we do, apart from the stuff that we're talking about in terms of investing and stuff like that. So we're paying a pretty penny for our money. We're paying a pretty penny for our jersey. You think about it, if our league's getting smaller, surely everything should be getting cheaper. Know what I mean? It's just me.
See all joking aside, sorry Liam, see all joking aside, right? We're talking about this transfer window, right? But say it comes to pass that, and by the way, we're selling Bosun Law as well, who some folk were thinking would be doing all right. We're selling him for a couple of million to Stoke or something.
Oh, the last I've seen it is if it ticks all the boxes in terms of what he does, we could be looking at 3 million for him.
3 million, there you go. So that's them get rid of O, they've got rid of Bosun Law, potentially they'll get rid of Mikey Johnson. You could be talking about, forget Matt O'Reilly, you could be talking about 10 million, 11 million coming in for bit part players. Do you know what I mean? And what they got for Abada last season as well.
Yeah.
But,
I was just looking at that, Jason, now that you're saying this, right? So, well, for the loans, we've punted out Marco Tellio back to Melbourne City. Now, that wee midget needs to do something if he's ever going to have a chance at selling. I can't see it. I think we'll sell him for about 200 grand in a year's time. Right? So Dane Murray went to Queen's Park, right? Ben Quinn, Mackenzie Cars, both left on free. Kai McLean, the goalkeeper, he left on a free. Magnus McKenzie, Benny Jackson left. So that's all the young boys that have left. Said Haksabanovic, I was led to believe we got quite a decent fucking return for him. James McCarthy, who we spoke about, released. Rocco Vata, just under 300 grand. O went for about 2.5, looking to be 4 if he ticks on a box. Benjamin Siegrist was released. And obviously Joe Hart left. So the good thing is we've got rid of guys that the manager's not going to use. I'm always happy with that. I'm always happy with that. And if you're bringing in more than fucking what you paid, you've done well. But
and you're talking about the Joe Hart wage will be replaced with Casper Schmeichel.
Yeah, 100%. James McCarthy's wage.
James McCarthy's wage is a profit because it's no good. Paul Bernardo, you were paying him last year, so you're kind of no paying any different. So, I mean, Boss and Law will be getting pennies anyway, so it's cash in the bank. Rocco Vata was getting pennies, so it's cash in the bank. But you're looking at, see if all things come to pass, right? and we sell Matt O'Reilly, and say we just bring in Ida, right? So worst case scenario, I can't even think of the unthinkable that we don't bring in Ida and we don't bring in anybody, right? But say we bring in Ida and nobody else, I reckon they should be getting the fences up round about the main stand again, because we should be revolting, because that is fucking disgusting if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it
It's
gets
your money, Jason. It's your money, man.
if it gets to that stage, it's fucking a vote of no confidence to that board, and we need them up, because they are fucking robbing us blind if that's the case. At the end of the day, I'm jumping the gun. There's a few weeks left, and there could be a
100%.
couple of belters come in, right? So, but just to set the scene, I'm all right now. I'm loving the football. Everyone's rosy in the garden. But if it gets to the stage at the transfer window, if we get nobody in apart from Adam Eder, then it's time to fucking actions required. You know?
But what's going to happen? That's the problem in it, Jason. We've said this before. The apathy. We're all lapping up the tickets, buying kits, fucking, scrambling for tickets, away tickets all the time. It's just they're pushing on an open door here, because you could lose 5,000 season ticket holders and replace them probably, and easily enough. So it's got you.
But I think we've got a big section of the support now is very radical, and I don't think it would take much to get them to lose the plot. And we've seen what happened earlier in the season, and all it did was affect the team. But the boys get their point across, and the board let them back in, But we have got a bit of radical support, and I don't think Celtic fans will take that kindly, And we have to get organised as a support, that if they do not spend money and try and improve this team to get us to do something in Europe, because I was always the happy clapper that as long as we win the league, I'm all right. Europe's just a bonus. Marty's took that mantle now. He doesn't care about Europe, blah, blah. You and Scott and Liam, yous have always been, right? But I'm in your way of thinking now, right? The Scottish League is brilliant to win it. It's amazing. But we're getting embarrassed year in, year out in European competition. And we need to make a go. Nothing's a guarantee, and they'll come out with this shit, and you're not guaranteed if you sign these players, they might not work out. Well, you need to fucking try. If you don't try and sign them, they certainly won't work out, So we need to invest, and we need to invest correctly in the team. And I get the fact that it's no easy to get players in, and I get their wage structure, but there has to be some give and take here. There's got to be some wiggle room, and you've got to push. If you've got a chance of getting a genuine potential super, say for instance, you were getting a young Argentinian, 19-year-old, that is potentially, the Brighton model, your Tony Bloom, I know he's playing in the Premier League, right, so it's a lot easier. But if Matt O'Reilly ends up going there, fair enough, but you bet your bottom dollar, if they sign Matt O'Reilly first for 25 million, they'll sell him in 2 years for 80 million.
Yeah.
Right? That's a given. So we need to be taking the chances with certain players, and not just your run-of-the-mill guys coming. If you can get a top prospect for a league, you need to take a gamble on him, and you need to pay him top dollar, and you need to then hope that guy turns out well, and then you punt him for a massive profit. Because at the end of the day, we sold Kieran Tierney for 25 million. If we sell Matt O'Reilly for 25, 30 million, you're setting a precedent, and then it could go to 40 million, it could go to 50 million. If Matt O'Reilly goes down there and is a total success, Kieran Tierney was a success, Arsenal fans loved him, but his injuries and all that, it kind of petered out. But when he went down there, he was a roaring success. They were loving him. Like, the Arsenal fans loved him. But if Matt O'Reilly goes down there, you look at Virgil van Dijk, the proof's in the pudding. You could say Edouard, probably the rank club he went to or whatever. So he's been all right for Crystal Palace, but he's not been pulling up any totties. But yeah, if Matt O'Reilly goes down there and actually blows it out of the water, then you could go to the next stage that then if you bring somebody through that is absolutely a shining light, you could sell them for 40, 50 million. You know, you could get into that, you know, you could move in there. But if they're still only paying 20 grand a week, 25 grand a week, 30 grand a week, and I get the teams that we're playing against are paying pennies. So the league becomes a farce because we just walk it every year. But that's not our fault, you know, but they need to speculate to accumulate. And for us to be a success in Europe, I mean, I get what you said, Liam, about 8 players. You think they can compete in Europe, but they could, right? But the 3 players could potentially let us down. But then the likelihood is by the time we get to Europe, 2 of the players will be injured. And you know the lot we've had in the past. Carter Vickers goes down.
Yeah.
Kyogo gets injured. You get into Europe, you've got fucking no chance. You
Yeah.
know, that's you saying fucking 10 Hail Marys that the 8 players are going to be fit by the time we get to Champions League. And you know yourself, you play the top class opposition there, they just cut you apart. You know, it's a step up, but we need to, I don't know where they get them from, but there's a big world out there. You know, the internet's there. There's plenty. I mean, the world's a small place now. You know, it's a big place, but it's a small place. And there could be players for anywhere in the world, but we need to be, at the end of the day, we need to wrap up a full fucking scouting academy if they can't find them. You know, because obviously they're not fit for the job. But if it comes to pass at the transfer deadline that we've only got Adamida in the door, then I think it's time for direct action.
And Jason, see on that very point there, right? So see you think of this logically. You take the emotion of the support out the way, right? You know, you pay. We all buy our season tickets, right? And you can't argue that you don't get value for that, given we've won everything for so long now, right? But then, you know, the board don't want to spend money to give us a chance in Europe. So theoretically, we should be saying, well, fuck buying the Champions League packages that are extortionate and through the roof. Do you know what I mean? We shouldn't. If they're not bothering, why would we bother? But you know, fine, well, these are the. I mean, how many people ask you for tickets for these games? Same as me. I'm sure Scott's the same as well. You know, I have people drive up from Birmingham, drive up and down for the games. People from all over the place looking for them, and that's the problem. That's the obvious thing. You could say, well, fuck that. I'm not buying them packages. But when it comes to it, who's going to miss the game?
But see, the thing is, the reason they're doing that is because of the fans. It's because of the atmosphere and the iconic atmosphere Celtic fans create in Europe. It's nothing to do with the team on the park. You know, there's not one person from Birmingham driving up and down because it's the quality of football they're going to be watching. It's to actually stand in that stadium with the fans. And if the fans start taking direct action, you know, then there is nothing to drive up to watch.
Yeah.
But these custodians of our club need to produce the goods in this 2-week window. And if they don't, I will be fucking candescent with rage. But it's all hearsay at the minute.
Just going to have to watch.
We started so positive.
I know, no doom and gloom. I've just fucking.
No, we've caveated every one of these by saying we all want to get proven right. We want Celtic to go and knock it out of the park. The fact of the matter is, who did we sell last summer? And we spent fucking a wad of dough, as somebody says. We spent 22 million last summer. Just fucking a lot of that seems at this point to be wasted. And surely wasting money is worse than spending more than you want to on something good. You know what I mean? It's like buying fucking a cheap toaster and replacing it every 3 months instead of going and buying a good toaster and it does you 2 years. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, Scott, I'm sure we all feel the same. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to see another Palmer, another. I don't want to see any of them. I'd rather we sign nobody than sign that sort of player again. But then if we sign nobody, everyone's going to go absolutely fucking nuts.
But but signing nobody's not an option, right? I understand the logic in the past of don't buy a project because we need somebody the now. But right now we need another striker. Fact.
Yeah.
Right? And Jason's already says it might need to be a project or somebody that will come, somebody for a different league. But the frustrating thing is we never signed many in the winter transfer for this same reason. Now, we can't keep plodding on every summer going, well, we never bothered because we couldn't get in who we wanted. And then you start going, as Jason 100% rightly says, well, what is your team doing? What are they up to? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. And I think if we sign Ida, that third striker will be a prospect. It will be a
Well, I think it should be.
And that's fair dues.
I don't think you're going to be signing two good strikers, right? That's not going to happen. Not unless you're going to fucking lose Kyogo, which is unthinkable.
well.
And that's another thing, right? Kyogo changed his agent, right? So obviously he could have changed his agent because he's want better deals and he's trying to get better sponsorship deals for Japan or what. I don't know. It could be anything. But when a player changes his agent, you start panicking a wee bit. And for the life of me, I do not understand why a top English team, well, even a middle of the road Premiership team, has not come in to sign him. The guy's fucking outstanding. Can you imagine you lost him? You know, it's unthinkable. The other side of the coin is these, and I'm not trying to racially stereotype people, right? But Japanese guys, the Japanese players seem not to throw the rattle at the pram. They seem to be quite, obedience, no the right kind of term I'm looking for, but they seem to be kind of chilled out punters. Do you know what I mean? And they don't seem to be, they're not like Todd Cantwell types, if you want to use. They're not like going to fucking... Aye, exactly. They seem very nice, fucking humble human beings, and they don't seem to be the type that would go off their nut if you said, no, we love you and we want to keep you here and we'll be a wage rise, to keep you here. They seem the type that would be okay with that. But still, if somebody comes in with high water and money, you know what Celtic Board's like, he's off.
Yeah.
And that would be unfucking.
I'm not even considering that one in this.
But do you see my point, Scott? Do you not think the clubs down in England are absolutely stone cold fucking crazy that they've not come in for him?
I think it's very. I said to you, I thought Tottenham would have been in for him because there's very few guys who play like him. I mean, Tottenham went and spent a lot of that dough on Timo Werner, and it was. You kind of look at it and you're going, why is Tottenham, knowing the money they can spend, no coming in for Maeda or Hingy, knowing Ange's relationship with both of them? But you go and look at teams like West Ham and stuff like that, you just wonder, what are you thinking? I mean, they went and signed Fulkrug for 30 million, and I'm like, I like the big man, do you know what I mean? And I suppose maybe he suits their style better, but no, I agree with you. But I'm so happy that doesn't seem to be any movements on that one. So
fingers crossed. But it is absolutely bonkers because I know we play in a shit league, right? But you watch football and you watch football on the telly, and we've all seen football all over the world, and you know a fucking good football player when you see one. And Kyogo, Hatate, and O'Reilly are fucking top draw. Carter Vickers as well, but he's injury prone a little bit, and I don't know, he's obviously he played down in England for a while and whatever, it didn't work out for him, he went about 9 loans. So maybe we're lucky in that sense with him that there might not be too many looking at him. And when he goes away on international duty, he doesn't really get a game and whatever. So he's, apart from in our Scottish bubble, he's maybe no catching everybody's eye. But they three that I mentioned, fucking hell. I think they could get a game with any team in England. I think they could play with Man City. I do. But for whatever reason, these teams don't, I don't know. But which I'm glad about. But the three of them
I said last summer, right? I said Kyogo, Ange knows Kyogo inside out, right? And I said Kyogo would be perfect for Spurs, and any games I watched of them or highlights, he would have scored a fucking hatful. He'd outscore Richarlison by 2 to 3-1, easy, man. But I just thought Spurs fans wouldn't have accepted Harry Kane being replaced by a player from the Scottish League, which is probably why he didn't bother. But he should have been bold enough to say, "Well, I know what he can do." Do you know what I mean? So he'd get involved.
Do you not think that's been one of the craziest things for me, right? That Ange never come back in for any Celtic players.
Yeah,
and he's the guy that portrays that he doesn't give a shit what MD thinks about him. You know, he's his own man and he does whatever he thinks, right? So by that, I cannot believe that he never come back in for any of our players.
Yeah.
No unless he signed some sort of agreement with Celtic.
Possibly, yeah.
He wouldn't come back in for MD. Maybe there's a clause there that he's not allowed to.
Mm.
You know, maybe that's. I don't know if that's even a thing that you would be able to legally you can do. I don't know, but maybe that's part of the reason Celtic were easy to deal with for him leaving. I don't know, because obviously he was in a rolling contract, right? So Celtic could have kept him for a year. They could have said to him, "No, you're not going to Spurs." So is it possible that was something that Celtic built in? I don't know. I just thought of that there the now.
Yeah, I was thinking the same as we were talking about it there. So good for us, like you said. But
for the life of me, I cannot understand why he did not come in for any Celtic players. You know, and I get the fact that he's not coming in for a fucking pile of them, right? But guys like Hatate, Maeda, Kyogo, or Matt O'Reilly. Don't get me wrong, Matt O'Reilly wasn't as good under Ange as he has been under Brendan. This season, Matt O'Reilly's blew my mind.
Yeah.
For the past season. Matt O'Reilly has blew my mind. He's got everything. He's going to be a superstar, that boy.
Yeah, that's the positive. I mean, Matt O'Reilly was brilliant all last season, obviously, and he's just carried on with that. But Hatate's far better than he was last season. Kyogo's back to the top of his game.
Yep.
You know, you're starting to see that, and that's what Rodgers. That's what he excels at. You know, he's great at developing players and bringing on their games, much more so than what he's done in the transfer market previously. But you know, you have to hope that that's not going to continue through this one. He hasn't got a massive record of signing lots of good players. But
that's a worry as well. You know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, see, like the model that Celtic's got with Rodgers, right? You sign a top-class manager, right? And you've got the best players in the league. Whether they're the best players in the world doesn't really matter. If they're the best players in the league and you've got a top-class manager, you're going to win the league. And I think Brendan Rodgers would be absolutely perfect for like an international manager, because I believe in international football now. It's not so much down to the players, which obviously the players are a massive part of it, but it's down to the manager. And I think if you've got a top-class manager, look, that's why England didn't win that, because don't think Spain were class, but they didn't have a good manager. If you had a fucking good manager with the England players, you'd have fucking walked that. But they just didn't. And we've got a top-class manager that. So the board have obviously went body-eating the manager, but less so in the playing staff, knowing that he can get the best out of these, and he's proven that with the players he's got at his disposal, he's improved a lot of them. Every one of them. I mean, people were saying we're starting off this season poorer than we started last season. Fucking bullshit. Every one of their players are better than they were at the start of last season.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, that you know, our first team just now, every one of them's on. There's nobody that's out the team, out of form, or whatever that you would think should be in the team, should be playing. Not that I can think of anyway. I think at the moment all our best players are on form, and just Maeda's the only one that's not fit just now.
Aye, but Brendan Rodgers has improved every single player in that team, without a doubt. They are better now than they were under Ange. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't know about that. I mean, O'Reilly definitely is, but I don't know. I mean, it feels like a lot of them are just back to their peak form underhands for me, to be honest with you.
Right.
O'Reilly, I'd say, is definitely a much better player under Rodgers than Ange, but Hatate, Mieda, Kyogo, they're back to that form for me that they were in. Don't know what you think, Scott.
But you fucking hate it, fucking me either.
I don't hate him. I just see the flaws that he's got in his game.
But he's got less flaws now.
Please remove me for that comment, Mr. Higgins.
Not yourself, Scott. I was talking to Liam and the rest of the fucking the missing fucking duo tonight.
There's a campaign. This is hard listening. I'm hearing this is the one Joe back.
Well, he did call James Forrest.
Aye, that's that. Right, okay, so I think we're kind of going round in circles there. I think only fucking Celtic can answer all the questions. So, Sunday, you was already asked. We're all going to Sunday, is that right, Liam?
Yeah,
all going to Sunday. Thoughts, please, gentlemen.
Scott, I was interested that he didn't do a thing with Mark Strachan to just not have a time or whatever. I'm not quite sure what state Hibs are in just now. Doesn't look good to me.
So update on that was he's been up the whole way Wayne's football, but basically training 3 and 4 times a week. And I kind of the week I was going to do the Kilmarnock one, it kind of just got away from me. And then I just left the Hibs one. I actually texted him today at what's that from the day, and we're going to do one on Tuesday night. So it's going to be a preview.
Oh, good, right, good.
For this Tuesday. I notice, I don't know if any's watch wee Hamish's new show. By the way, he's new fucking charging. He wants you in a club, but he started doing fucking, he says, I've thought up a new idea of talking to the away fans. I was like, what did you think that? So, no, I'm going to get back on the horse with that. Getting back on the horse for that this week coming. So I've got Mark coming up. So it'll probably be longer than our usual shows. You know, Marky boy likes to rattle into things. So I dare say there'll be plenty to talk about.
I'm always really interested in what he says. And obviously, Malcolm Mackay's gone back this summer. And David Gray, was he 36, is he? The manager? Yeah. And obviously, they've got a load of money behind them in relative terms to them as well just now. So, but I haven't followed them much for the summer, but the results.
7 managers, 7 years, mate.
Yeah, fucking hell. And obviously they got spanked last week by St Mirren. So everything's pointing to a good day at the office for us, other than this kind of, not a hoodoo, but this kind of, we haven't done too much under Rodgers there before. But you'd think on paper we should be a comfortable day for us, but I don't know much about them just now, the team.
What's your plan of attack? How are you getting up?
Not sure yet still.
He's shattered going in the rattler with the troops.
Yeah. After last Monday's experience at work, it needs to be a much quieter day this week than last week.
Me and Mick are getting the train up. Magoo might be coming. I don't know. There's a lot of complexities with Magoo. His health's a lot better. That's not an issue. But I don't know what he's doing. But me and Mick are getting the train, and we're staying up in Edinburgh after it. So we'll get to the Hibs Club after it. Get a pint with Mr. Stack, and then do a wee tour of a few Leith.
Very good.
I always like getting in the Hibs Club after a game for a pint. The Guinness is good in it. Decent punters.
Punters, I've done it once with you, and it was a great day, man. I'm a bit jealous. That would have been good, but I'm like Liam. I'm like Liam. I'm fucking. I don't know if Liam tell you so. It was Wayne's birthday on Saturday, so with the party, and you know yourself, Scotland, Wayne's birthday parties generally mean we all get blotto. So sitting up to hours, I've got the next day, and just like you did with the Wayne's party, your Wayne's party, I had all the fucking remnants of a carry out. So I fucking walloped a whole load in the bag. I've been doing to get the train. So I went up to the game. I've got a good few wee drinks in me. So I'm walking down to get the train home after the game. And I'm going, right, well, I'll go to the pub now. I've just got the road. So I went to get the train's 40 minutes. I was like, fuck's sake. So I've jumped on the petrol station across the road for the train station.
Aye.
And I've got myself a big bottle of beer and I've took it down. I was sitting there thinking, I said, train will come
Did
in.
he sell bevy in there, that petrol station?
Plenty of beer there.
Gold mine, I didn't know that.
And by the time I got there, a pal of mine was sitting outside. He says, I know in 20 minutes to the next train. I was like, say 40 minutes. He says, fuck knows what's happened, delayed or something. So I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So my big mates walked by and I says, he says he's walked in to get the train and I says, the train's not, and he's like, hey, I'm walking it. I says, walking another one? He says, aye. I says, I'll walk you up. So 2 years walked up, me drinking his beer and he's like, do you want to get in for a pint? I was like, we're going to Chapman's. It's fucking, because it's bucketing doing that. So we'll just jump into Chapman's. It's on the way. We went into Chapman's. Chapman's jumping. Okay, so I'm sitting, all his mates are in, whole load of ex-Vogels are in. I'm like, how you doing? How's you going? Chatting away. And then I see the bold Liam at the bar sitting with Dale Boy. I was like, fucking, so my mates fucked off and I ended up stopping. Liam, what was it like? We were starting waffling away. And then I looked at my clock. I was like, it's 9:45. I was like, for fuck's sake, man.
Honestly, man, Donna dropped me off and I said, I'll be an hour max, right. And then blotto, absolutely blotto, man. And just woke up on the Monday morning, like, don't remember getting home or fuck all. Usual.
So because I get soaked as well, Scott. I left after the game. We ran, but maybe it was about half an hour after the game. I ran down to get a train, but our train just came. I just caught it tomorrow, and then
that's probably the train I was supposed to be on.
aye, maybe. So, by the way, I see, I'm looking at the chat there. PML, it says Scales is 100 times better under Rodgers. That's a fair shout. Scales is a far better player under Rodgers. All right?
Yes, I agree with that. Right, crack on, you were saying.
And he also says the allocation cuts, but nae bother those in the know. Fucking hell, mate. Listen, you don't know the blood, sweat, and tears we go through to get fucking tickets for these games. Fucking hell. That do you know what? It's interesting, right? Because we go to like all away games. But the thing is, we've all been going to all away games for years and years. I've been going to all away games since I was fucking 15. Do you know what I mean? And I'm 52. So you kind of know loads of folk, and there's folk can help you out and you help them out, etc. So it is unfortunate for folk that can't get to away games that want to start going to away games. But the only thing you need to do is join a bus and start going to away games. Go to some without tickets and just go on a bus and pay your dues and just there. You know, it's a bugbear of mine when folks start pulling you up for I think
he was at the madam there, to be honest.
Aye, was he? Aye, all right, laughing. Right. Oh, it's in 60s, oh, for fuck's sake. No, but it's a serious thing. See, so for them that's listening, right, and it fucking hacks me off a bit, right, because I do go to all the away games, but I have always went to all the away games, and usually the same, you know, but the amount of begging, stealing and borrowing we do to get tickets for away games, it's fucking draining. And it's getting to the stage that I'm kind of, I keep saying this every year, but I'm actually nearing the stage that I'm just going to chuck it.
Yeah.
Because it's too much hassle. I mean, we've not even got a bus going because we didn't have enough tickets to run a bus. So our bus is sharing with a few. So me and Mick just says, made the executive decision, get the rattler up and stay in Edinburgh for a few beers after the game. I've got a good few Hibs fans, mates, so I always like meeting them for a few pints after the game. So it's an early kick-off.
See, to be honest, you've said a couple of things there, and whilst it's all true and stuff, if joining a bus is no guarantee of getting it, I mean, if you want to start going to see Celtic regular, you do need to know somebody who's going to get you briefs, or you're going to be mega patient, because the way the ticket situation is going for away games, it is tougher and tougher and tougher. And the people who go regularly have all built up enough friends and contacts Because when I used to go when I was younger, I had plenty of contacts. Plenty. I honestly get tickets for any game I wanted back in the day. Now, obviously, I had my hiatus at St. Roch's. However, I was still a member of the bus and I still had my season ticket. So when I came back in the bus, I was fortunate that Ibrox was still a thing. And St Johnstone, Livingston, all these Hibs, Hearts, these were all games that generally tickets were available for. The squeeze since 2018 to now has been wild, to the point that supporters buses are generally telling people, you can join, but you're unlikely to get tickets outside of the aforementioned Livingston, who are now gone, St Johnstone, and maybe Motherwell. Aside from that, you'll probably not get. And for you to build up, so in our bus, you've got to have been a 38 of the last 40 games to get into ballots for limited ticket games. And limited ticket games are games that we've only got 8 or less tickets for. And that's the case a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? Like the bus is 6 short for this game coming up on Sunday. And that's including 5 of us going and getting our own tickets. Do you know what I mean? So we're talking about 11 tickets short. Because again, I've got a decent contact for normal games. They'll not get me tickets for Hearts, no get me tickets for the Huns, no get me tickets for even Aberdeen, but they'll get me tickets for the rest, and I take them, you know what I mean? But it's a hard time for people who want to start going.
Scott,
yes.
So sorry to interrupt you there. So say on your bus, how many? So you said 38 of the last 40. How many would be in your ballot then, just typically for a game?
The ballot. So I fell out the ballot last season, because I never went to Motherwell away where he just scored, and that dropped me out. That put me on to 37. But currently we've got 8 going into the ballot.
Right.
No, that's wrong. 10 is. Sorry, mate. There was 10 is. So I think it's 8 now. Somebody else fell out. So we get 3 tickets for Hearts, then it gets balloted amongst the 8.
Right. And for Hibs, you get more than that, I take it, obviously.
Hibs we got more. So Hibs never went to a ballot.
So how does that work for Hibs? Then it just goes in the pecking order.
Where you're sitting, how many of the last 40 away games?
Right. Okay.
Like I say, I'm now sitting at 37. So I think I missed a game 2.5 years ago, and that's kind of killing me. Do you know what I
mean? So even that concept of join the bus and be patient, well, it's practically impossible.
It's gone now. That's people. Sorry, Liam. People join our bus, and we tell them there's no really any point.
Yeah, and of course, I mean that would apply to any bus.
No, that doesn't apply to any bus, Liam. I know buses that, see if you join it and you go every week, and see if you turn up every week at every away game, guys will do favours for you. Guys will try. Once you get your face known, you need to do the hard yards. See if you don't do the hard yards. Maybe the Vogue bus is a closed shop, right? But there's other buses out there. Like our bus that we go to the away games, right? It's a bit convoluted, right? Because it's a couple of different, but it's mostly the Notre Dame bus, but the New Stevenson bus goes on it as well. And the guys that run it will help all the folk that are members that want to go to away games, because there is only certain ones that go to away games. It's always the same folk on away games at our bus. But what I used to do is, I'm not a member of it, right? But I go to all the away games on it. So I just pay the same amount, because what we do at the away games, just divide the cost of the bus between the amount of people that are on it, and the kids pay less. And it's no like if you're a member, you pay £3 less than me, or they're 10 or less than me. It's not like that. It's just everyone's split down, right? But what I used to do is, if I get spare tickets, I would hand them to the bus, right? But I don't give them anything, because they would never give me one, because they look after their members first,
right?
Which I'm not a member. So if I've got spare tickets, I just don't. And if any of them are listening, they'll know that anyway, because they know they don't get tickets off me. But I used to give my tickets to them. But if it came to an away game and I was short of a ticket, they would never say to me, right, I'll try and sort you out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a member of their bus, which is fair enough. But then I took the decision, well, I'm not giving you any of my tickets. So I only give tickets now to people that I know has got potential to give me a ticket back.
Yeah.
And that's
So
maybe...
Yeah. So are you saying people would go on that bus to a game but not go to the game because there's no ticket? They'd have to go for that, or it's just you just get to know the
I'd
people?
like to clarify that, because I was kind of...
No, because before the game, see everybody that's registered an interest to go to the game.
Yeah.
The guys that run the bus, if more tickets come to them, they will pass them on to the members.
No, that's the same as us, aye.
But they sort loads of them out. And no, I'm not talking about guys that go every week, but they'll sort a load of them out. And tickets pop up the day of the game and stuff like that, and they'll phone them, and they're always ready. So the ones that are always ready to take them, they'll sort them out again. It's not like, I don't know if there's an official, I don't know how they run it. I don't know if there's an official list, etc.
Yeah.
If you're showing an interest and you're actually turning up and you're going to games, and there will be some games that you'll need to go to on the bus and you don't get in, but you need to do the hard yards. I done it for years when I was a kid, going to away games. Don't get me wrong, it was a lot easier to get in back then. But there were certain games I went to and never get any away games, etc. But you need to do the time, and if you put the effort in, then the guys will look after you,
I'm honestly, Jason, for what you're saying, I'm not seeing any difference to what I've just said there.
Aye. So, well, that I don't think it's a closed shop then, Scott. If you do the hard yards, you'll get
No. Yeah, but you're saying you done it, and I done it as well. But what I'm saying is now, because clubs are cutting off tickets so much in a way that's never happened before, Jason.
No.
Never in your life. That
Terrible.
A lot of buses, we were talking about the price of buses, and we'll come to that. We'll talk about the price of buses on the Huddleboard, and I said to him about joining. Somebody said about joining a bus, and I say you're just going to have to dig in, and you're going to have to hope things go for you, and you end up. I mean, but two people come on that thread and went, no, clubs wouldn't let you in now. And like I'm saying, the Vogue, we'll take members, but we're telling you right for the off. By the way, so it's likely you're not going to get tickets most weeks. If you're no coming on this bus with a ticket in your hand, it's unlikely you've definitely not got one for Hearts. You've definitely not got one for Hibs. You've definitely not got one for Ross County. You've definitely not got one for St Mirren. You've definitely not got one for Ibrox. Now, I mean, I'm talking about fucking 80% of the games you'll not get a ticket for. So building yourself up from nothing on the back of Motherwell and St Johnstone and Dundee United and Dundee, you're talking fucking a good long while, man. And I appreciate what you're saying about keeping the face going, but we've got 20 members in between that newbie and the guys getting in the ballot. We've got a whole load of guys that go every week. You know what I mean?
No, I get that, Scott. I get that, but the thing is, you're still getting a right good day out, whether you get into the game or not. Always live.
You got my hearts away here.
You just need to make sure you know the absolute puppet in the way down the road in the bus, because you've been in the pub for an hour and a half. But it's shocking, by the way. So we'll go on here now. Like Hibs cutting our allocation. What the actual fuck? I mean, Scottish football is run by fucking imbeciles. They go on about the disparity of wealth and riches between us and them, and they just chuck away free money. Like, it's fucking incredible. Hearts have fucking done it. They've done it to the extreme degree where they're giving us now like 500 tickets. Hibs are still giving us, I don't know, what are they giving us, like 3,000, 2,500 or whatever? And there's going to be a big empty section in the Hibs end and in the Celtic end. And you're like, what the actual fuck are you doing? Why in heaven's name are you doing this? Who's it benefiting?
It's funny when because like you know Mark well better than me and Liam know him. But I'm kind of happy to say that I've got to know him since you introduced me to him, and I thoroughly enjoy talking to him because he's a proper football man. You know what I mean? And that's you always enjoy that. But he seems to accept the reasoning why a lot of people don't come to Celtic and their games when they come. Like you say, season ticket holders don't go because of the songs and the atmosphere. And there's a bit of me that kind of goes, what are we fucking doing? I mean, give me what they sang bad songs. I think they're all kidding themselves on. They just don't like seeing their team getting scaled, which ironically enough doesn't really happen with Hibs always all the time, do you know what I mean? But I don't know, some of the reasons behind
They just make up reasons.
Some of the reasons behind the cuts are nonsense.
They make up reasons.
I'm never going to tell a club that what they should and shouldn't do with their tickets. It's just frustrating because I think Scottish football's got enough problems, and generally a lot of them are of our own making. I really do think that stuff like this, the alcohol, the 3 p.m. blackout thing, Septon Sky deals and stuff like that, we just seem to fucking trip ourselves up constantly. I don't know. If you want to sell something on the telly, having big empty sections of seats, it does nothing for you fucking selling your product either. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, we've got the most money, right? We're the best run club, money-wise, right? I wouldn't say we're the best run club at all, but we're the best run club money-wise for an accountancy level, without a doubt, right? But we've got more money. So what do? They actually cut their money. Kilmarnock was the best example. They built fucking offices. And if you're telling me the offices are renting that fucking space and that stand in Pinemere with 4 away ends when us and that mob go to Rugby Park was given you, then fair enough. I doubt it, but it might be. But that end behind the goal has got about 40 folk in it. They've got a safe standing area and no one of it's safe. There's nobody in it. But it's just like, you just say to yourself, what are you fucking doing? The guys that run these clubs are like, it's fucking bonkers. And by the way, here's another one. Do you know that the Dirty Dozen? See when I think they actually did it to the Rain fans as well, because somebody said it on Radio Clyde. I was out walking my dog and I stuck Radio Clyde over for a minute, right? Do you know that? See all their tickets for Hampden? Like, see when they sent Motherwell their tickets?
Yeah.
They sent them a PDF file. Motherwell had to print them all out in paper and give it to the fans. And by the way, I heard they've done it to the Rain fans and all. They've sent all guys fucking PDF files that they have to print out. There's a guy on Radio Clyde saying, I've got a ticket for the midweek game, but I'm going down to Hampden tomorrow to sort this out. He said, I thought I'd lost my ticket when I tried to print it. They've sent fucking PDFs out to folk. No paper tickets.
That's
PDF.
magic, isn't it?
And you need to print out a fucking... I mean, anybody above the age of 60 that's not getting any nephews around, it's not going to fucking be able to go to the game. You know, it's fucking absolute bonkers. Motherwell never get any paper tickets. They got a file sent through and they had to print out PDFs and hand them out to their supporters when they come in to buy tickets. Fucking mental. They're fucking... I mean, I get we're in a different fucking age now, but at least make it a fucking thing that you can get on your phone. And saying that, a good pal of yours, you know Kazi? You know Kazi, don't you? You there, Liam?
Liam?
See away. Do you know my mate Kazi?
I don't know. I don't think so, mate.
No, Kazi, loads listen to this will know him. Kazi's went everywhere for years. Kazi, a year ago or something, always wanted to go to the Derby or in Istanbul. So we went out to Istanbul and there was a Besiktas game on. He went for 4 nights or whatever. So he was getting a Besiktas game at home and then he was going to the Fenerbahce Galatasaray Derby. The only way getting into the games is having a ticket on your phone. There's no... Either you get a season card or you get a ticket on your phone. There's no paper tickets. he doesn't know how to work a phone, and he didn't know anything in Istanbul, so he didn't get into any of the 2 games. He's bunked into every game on the planet, and he went out there and just stowed it about and couldn't get in because he didn't know how to work a phone.
See, that's fucking wild, isn't it, man?
I know. Fucking
So,
been to games everywhere. He's bunked in everywhere. And fucking, he's one of the guys who go to sell like away game in Europe. See, years ago, we only had maybe 500, 600 fans and that. You'd always see him. He was always there. And just, he went out to Istanbul to the 2 games and didn't get into any of them because he didn't know any Turks and he couldn't work his phone. So you could buy a ticket, but he didn't know how to download it and show them at the gate. I know it's no funny, but fucking hell, see when they tell us, I was like, fuck's sake, man.
So, any more for any more? I'll tell you what was sad this week, I think it was last week, that Bordeaux are on the fucking cuss again.
Oh, terrible.
Wild,
Are they wound up now?
I don't think they're wound up. I don't think it's liquidated yet, but touch and go.
A massive fucking team as well. So basically, has it just been financial mismanagement, the same as that mob, etc.?
So it leads on to a very interesting topic, right? And whilst one of your favourite clubs are involved in it, they're involved at the top end. It seems that Bordeaux were part of these multi-club ownership things,
Right.
along with Boa Vista as well, who I'm led to believe. I'll need to double check what other teams are involved. However, the owner guys, basically, the point was, I was listening, it was Andy Brasso talking about it, and he was saying, though, what happens when the top end of these companies start struggling? Like any other company, they'll start chopping things. But it's a fucking football club, which means so much to thousands, if not millions of people per club. And you think it's just a business to them. So they basically just fucking downgraded operations at Bordeaux and just, so I mean, you know yourself, if they are not making as much money, but they're subsidising, and then they decide to stop subsidising the club just falls into financial ruin, doesn't it? And that's what's happened here. I think it was a guy, Lopez, but I just thought it was a mega, mega sad story. I mean, generally all the times when football clubs get into financial ruin, it is their own fault,
Yeah.
But it just seems garbage. I mean, they won the league fucking, I think it was like 2010 or something like that. Fucking garbage. But I need to have a gander. I think they've filed for bankruptcy, which puts them into National League and all that caper, do you know what I mean? But I don't think they're tits up yet.
Do they not have any good players we can have?
Well, the cost, so the club needed 42 million to fund a League 2 season, and the guy's name is Gerard Lopez. He's the owner, but I'm led to believe that he's fucking head of the company that owns fucking a million different teams. Do you know what I mean? I wish I had actually. It just came into my head while we were talking there.
Some players have played with him.
Well, fucking who's it? Dugarry scored against us. Remember, under Martin O'Neill?
He was the main man then, but Zidane played with him as well. So did
Zidane, yep. So he did, yep.
So did Vicente Lizarazu. Now, traitor to the Basque Country. He played with him. But it's fucking sad, mate. Massive team. I always remember I was in Jamaica, me and Linda, 4 with kids, when Celtic played Bordeaux away, and I couldn't get a signal. I couldn't get anything to listen to it or whatever. It was long before the days of Sky Telly and stuff like that. But
So that'd have been a 1-each game, eh? I think we drew 1-each that one.
So you'd have been talking, right? So Ellie's 22, so it would have been
Martin O'Neill's first year, nah?
24 year ago, 25 year ago. So it would have been, where are we, 2024, so it would have been 1999.
Was it 1999? Fuck me, I was at me a couple of years.
Or two, no, it might have been 2001, I don't know.
I think it was Martin O'Neill's. Martin O'Neill's. I'm pretty sure Martin O'Neill's.
Aye, you'd be right. It was before Ellie was born, so it was any time after 22 years ago.
You know what the irony had been? I'm looking last season. They spent fucking $6 million last season on 3 players. You know what I mean? In the French second division. Fucking hell, man.
By the size of club they were.
It's wild, isn't it? It's wild.
If you look at somebody that doesn't study French football, right, and so you say the new, right, who's the top 6 teams, fan base, history and all that in France? You would say Marseille, Saint Etienne, PSG, but PSG is a new phenomenon, right? Bordeaux, Lyon, and I don't know, Lons or something, or what would you say? Top 6 box there? Don't know.
The top 6. So obviously Paris. I know historically Paris are probably the weakest, but Paris are without doubt
Marseille,
the biggest.
I would say, is the biggest. But
right. Then you've got Marseille, Saint Etienne, Lyon. Auxerre, as you say, Auxerre, Marseille, Monaco. I mean, the idea about Monaco being fucking just a shitty wee thing, you know what I mean?
No fans or nothing. They're Livingston with cash.
Lille as well. They've been big recently. I don't know.
Lille,
I mean, Lons were traditionally a big club.
Lons, I always remember I worked in a place where the guys that delivered the glass to it were all from Lons, and they say they're the workers' club right north of France. And he says we've got the biggest, most passionate fan base, but the team's shit, red and yellow they were. And he would always say Lons are massive, right? But they don't win much. But Bordeaux would be up there in the top 6 for me, you know, if you talk about French teams. And mad. Just nobody's invincible. I mean, the only thing that's kept Everton is fucking staying in that Premier League. I'll be honest with you, see if Everton had fucking went down with that debt, oh, for God's sake, doesn't bear thinking about.
I've been listening to things recently that basically said because of the TV deal that the French league's in a bit of a midden, you know what I mean? It's just mad, isn't it? Mad.
Did they not do something similar to Scotland, Scott? They turned like a reliable deal down, took one with someone different, and it's gone tits up.
It was so. I need to double check. CVC. I think the Spanish league signed a deal with him. Right. The Germans wanted to sign a deal with him, but the clubs refused. And I think the French signed, and it fucking collapsed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I like I said, I've listened to a whole load of things, but I can't.
Yeah.
Do you know the thing for me, right? It's my perception of football, right? I don't know how you feel, right? But see when they're going about the top 5 leagues in Europe, right? And France is always one of them. I'm always about, and I get the population, and I get that when we go to play Champions League games, Europa League games in France, the teams have always got massive supports, right? But I've never ever thought French club football was ever any good. I've never rated it. Lyon had a massive spell. They were good. Obviously, PSG are no bad, but they're no fucking winning the Champions League, and threw fucking the most money any football clubs ever threw money without having backing for fans, etc. But I've never ever rated. See, to me, I always think like Germany, England, Italy, Spain, like before them are out on their own. You know, it's like they're the massive leagues in kind of world football, but obviously Argentinian football as well. But in Europe context, I always think the 4 of them, but the French would always be like in as the 5th. And I would always think like the Portuguese teams were better, the Dutch teams were better. You know, and I get the population of the countries is minuscule compared to France, but I would never ever class France as like a top. And ironically, their national team is fucking unbelievable, right? But that's only kind of been, well, not really in recent times, Platini and all that, 82, etc. But it's like
82, 98,
aye,
2000.
aye. So they're one of the best ever national. But do you get what I'm
We'll
saying?
edit that one out, bud.
Do you get what I'm saying with the club sides? I've
I
never really-
do know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I mean, traditionally they're massive clubs, but who really rocks European competition? In fairness, they're generally there or thereabouts the quarterfinals, all of them, aren't they? But
Aye. But if you look at, I reckon, right, I'm not a statistician at all, but if you look at the winners of European club competitions, I reckon the French would be well below the Portuguese and Dutch. There we go.
So,
Yeah, I'm got. Can you hold it now? I need to go into a pee.
Yeah, Scott's going to search for that just now.
no, I mean, like, Paris Saint-Germain were in the final 2020. They could beat 1-0. Marseille were in the Europa League final 2018, get beat 3-0.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Monaco were in the Champions League final in 2004, and Marseille were in the final, the UEFA Cup final. And Monaco get beat 3-0, and Marseille get beat 2-0. Marseille were in the final of the UEFA Cup in 99 and get beat 3-0.
So when's the
Paris Saint-Germain were in the final in 1997, get beat 1-0. So the last time anybody fucking won a cup was when they fucking beat us. Paris Saint-Germain beat us in the Cup Winners' Cup in 96. Do you know what I mean?
That's a fair whack, isn't it?
The only two teams that have won a European trophy are Marseille and PSG. And Marseille cheated like fuck, but still fucked the Huns. So
it's allowed. But they must be doing well, like you said. I mean, I didn't even notice lots of them getting to the quarterfinals, but they must do because they're always in the top 5 kind of seeds, aren't they? Coefficient seeds in terms of getting teams in. So they must do well broadly. But
people are saying here Marseille get the European Cup taken off them. I thought they kept it. I know they get relegated and all that because of the fucking. But
yeah, I don't remember that getting taken off them.
I'm looking here. European Cup winners. It's doing as still winners. But anyway, they won in a total cup, so there you go. Right, where are we headed now, Liam? Is that us done?
I think that's the list. Exhausted, mate.
Exhausted.
I think the
I don't really want to talk about the Hondos because I have a sneaky suspicion I got. Here's one to finish off. What do you make of the proposed third kit?
The provisional kit, mate. It's interesting.
I do love a bit of fatigue action. I've got to say, I think it's fucking.
Find out.
Huh?
Did you get the results?
I never looked at the results. It's just only 2 teams have won European trophies, and one was Marseille and one was PSG. PSG was the Cup Winners' Cup when they beat us. Remember, fucking put us out that year.
So you're actually talking Swedish clubs and that would have a better record in Europe than Scottish clubs?
Well, what? Scottish clubs do then, aye. That's a good point.
You know what I mean? I've always, my perception, French club football is shit. And don't get me wrong, they've been pumped off them a good few times, but what's new with us in Europe? But it's one of the ones, it's the big 5 leagues in Europe. I'd never ever seen it. I didn't ever think, like, I get the population, etc., and I get like, but France is into rugby and into other shit. It's not like, see, like Spain is fit by mad, Germany's fit by mad, England's fit by mad. Oh, they've got cricket and rugby as well, but France seems to be a bit blasé, a bit fit by sort of thing, although their national team is fucking incredible. It's a weird thing. I don't know. Just a kind of perception I always had.
I don't know what sort of numbers they get support-wise over there. I don't know hardly anything about French domestic football, to be honest with you, but I don't know, they're not big in crowds, are they?
Aye, Marseille's massive. Marseille fucking tremendous support. PSG no so much. They obviously have now, they're a good side in there. But Marseille, Lyon would have Bordeaux, St Etienne would have an amazing support.
What sort of numbers are you talking here, Jason? Like just
40-odd thousand every game.
right, okay.
Lawns would have 40,000. Aye, they would have proper. But I don't know. A lot of frat it's into rugby and stuff like that, and I don't know if like football's like their main thing. I don't know. Cycling into it. Tour de France.
Yeah.
So, European Cup and Champions League, Spain have had 20 winners and 11 runners-up. England have had 15 winners, 11 runners-up. Italy have had 12 winners, 17 runners-up. Germany have had 8 winners, 11 runners-up. The Netherlands have had 6 winners, 2 runners-up. Portugal have 4 winners, 5 runners-up. France have had 1 winner, 6 runners-up. Yugoslavia's had 1 winner, 1 runner-up. Romania 1 winner, 1 runner-up. Scotland 1 winner, 1 runner-up.
There you go. I fucking knew it. I say to you, the Netherlands and Portugal, without a doubt. Because Portugal and the Netherlands is fit by daft. You know, France, I don't see it. I don't think they're fit by daft. It's a weird thing. But
it's probably a bit disproportionate, Jason, because PSG have had so much money the last 20 years or whatever and suddenly become one of the big players, and then the national teams won so much.
Well, even at that, but they were always classed as like the big 5 leagues even before PSG had that money. It was a weird thing, you know. And by the way, PSG are by no means, as far as I'm concerned, I would class like St Etienne and Marseille bigger than PSG. I know it sounds mad to some folk, but they're like traditional football clubs. Bordeaux as well. You've got Montpellier, they're a big side. So, like, I don't know. Scott, you've got mates that support PSG. They would be able to tell you more. I mean, but they were only formed in the 70s or 80s, weren't they?
Aye. Amalgamated in the 60s, I think it was.
60s, was it?
I mean, it really depends on what you're fucking. So what they're saying, founded August 1970.
There you go. Aye, just some always had in my head, but there you go. Aye.
What clubs? I don't even know which 2 clubs were put together there.
Racing Club of Paris and Saint Germain FC, I think it was.
Okay.
No. Paris FC and Stade Saint Germain.
Oh, Stade Saint Germain, right? Oh, but they never known as Racing Club of Paris, no?
Maybe.
I don't know. I always had that in my head.
Were either of those big clubs before they merged?
Fuck me. Fucking hell, man.
Asking
me fucking questions.
Do you know what, Liam? Liam, I would say no, right? Because do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Berlin.
Yeah.
Berlin's got fucking 20 clubs, and Hertha are seemingly a big club. Union have recently become a big club, but they never won fuck all.
Yeah.
If you look in German football, Berlin is the. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. Is Berlin the second most populated city in Europe after London? I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me, yeah.
Or maybe is it maybe the second?
Russian, no.
I don't know if it's the second most populated capital city, and there's something there anyway, right? But they're fit by team.
Right, so London, Moscow's 13 million.
Right.
Istanbul, what do they have?
Moscow's 13 million. London 8.9. Berlin 3.4. Madrid 3.3. St. Petersburg 5.6.
But St. Petersburg, isn't it? Actually, it must be capital. But I
capitals.
Take away Moscow then, right? So, so third then after London. So it's only after London, like the most populated city, which I thought Paris would have had more. But
Paris 2.1.
Aye, weird. So anyway, you look at Madrid, less population in Berlin. Look at the two football clubs they've got. You look at Berlin, fucking, it's unfathomable.
Istanbul, 16 million.
Yeah, sort of
But
thought.
that's not the capital, is it? Istanbul's not the capital, is
No.
it? Ankara or something.
Aye, and half of Istanbul's in Asia anyway, so
Yeah.
that would count.
Of course it fucking counts.
No for European capitals.
But
It's not even a capital.
But I said to you, when you went on to Berlin for you were going off for the Leipzig game, we had this discussion, and I told you the first time I'd been to Berlin, we all went to Hertha Berlin match, and we sat with a whole load of Hertha Berlin fans at the end of the game, and they were adamant, Berlin's no a football city. It's just no a football city. I mean, he says, Union, you'll have sections of each support which are fanatical, same as every club. But in general, there's just so much going on that you can never class Berlin as a proper football city. And it stunned me because I said it to you, Jason, and you were like, no, bollocks. And I'm going, because of the amount of teams, but in general, I mean, neither team gets above fucking 30,000 for a city that big.
But let's face it, see if Hertha were a good side, they would sell out that Olympic Stadium every week. You know, so there is like, but I get what you're saying, that then adds to the argument that it's not a football city. Because it's like a fucking bohemian hippie fucking.
Exactly. Aye.
Union's only a tiny ground, they don't get many there. Sell it out, but don't get many in there.
Exactly.
And they're not a big club. You know, they've came from next to nothing. But it's weird how, like, in a country that's fucking arguably the most, I'd say probably England and Scotland are maybe slightly more fit with daft, but no, maybe Germany. Between Scotland, England, and saying that you've got your fucking South American countries are fit with daft as well, but Germany is one of the most fit with daft countries in the world, and their capital city that's got a ton of clubs. None of them have ever been successful, which is mental. You know, you would think, I know it's maybe got a lot to do with like the fan ownership and stuff like that, Scott, but you would think someday with Doe that had a fucking business sense.
Well, it was tried recently, Jason. Well, as you say, with the business sense. I mean, it was tried recently by a large conglomerate who put a lot of money in, and they appointed Jurgen Klinsmann and all that. And it fucking went tits up, and they were near relegated and all that sort of stuff. That was very recently. I'll see if I can find it. But anyway, if we calling this, I think we're fucking ran out of things to speak about.
If you want me.
But all right, last thing. Know that any cud's going to be listening, but this is just for future, and I'm going to be putting up. So I installed Twitch on my phone for tonight. And we are broadcasting through Twitch as well. Now, if you've got the Twitch app and you put us on live, you can minimize us and then push it to the side using the app. This is on the iPhone, so you can just carry on using your phone and you can use all your apps and do whatever you're doing. But we'll still be playing on the side for people who are moaning about that.
All right, good. So, like with YouTube, if you minimise it, it stops.
Yeah, well, do you know, like if you do YouTube, but if you come out of the YouTube, like so, Twitter used to be like if you clicked it, it would turn into a wee screen in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
But you push it to the side, and it actually goes into the side of the phone, and it still plays. I think it's the handiest one that I've found.
That's good.
So I would. But there's Cairns92 using Twitch said the exact thing I'm talking about. So I'm glad he kind of backed me up there. So that's something I'll be putting on the Facebook and I'll put it on Twitter and stuff like that. Because unless we pay for Twitter and Instagram Premium, then we can't use either one name for lives.
Right, okay.
Not perfect, people, I know, I appreciate that, but it is what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is.
Slightly off topic, talking about iPhones, right? I don't know one, it was like iPhone 11 or whatever. What fine.
I've got an iPhone 10 and you're saying an old one.
Right. So I got a thing through my deal was ready to run out, and I could just keep on paying the 60 or 70 quid a month I was paying with this. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute, I ain't got an upgrade here. So I was like, what do I get? And I was looking at the upgrades. I'm like, I'm paying half the dough that I'm paying now and getting a new phone. I'm like, fucking bingo. So I was like, iPhone 15 Pro, that'll do. Fucking hang gets delivered yesterday. It's fucking weirder than the one I was using, and it's exactly the same. I'm fucking raging. I'm back to the old fucking iPhone 7 or something or whatever it was.
You're paying, how much were you paying a month?
It was a friends and family thing, so I had
You're paying for the house?
I paid for the house.
Right,
so
right.
they've sent us a one through, and it's about half the price. But the phone came, fucking, it's much weirder than the one I was using. And my site's fucking, so I need to use specs all the time now. Fucking
Lucky you've got the big ears, though. Right, we'll call it that one, guys.
Just before you finish, Scott, just a shout out to Stephen John in the chat. He's broke his record of 3,000 fucking mental comments in one show. So well done, that man.
He's on PML, so
he fucking owns you now, Jason, after you biting on his fucking.
By the way, another thing I meant to say to Martin was on as well. A big shout out to see if MD, if you buy Celtic t-shirts and that, there's a guy, a good mate of mine, Craig, CS Terrace t-shirts, right? And I can't thank the big man enough, right? See if the Tommy Gemmell stuff, he gives us ever in cost price. See for t-shirts.
Brilliant.
So if we're selling t-shirts, any profits goes back into the statue, and for the walk, the donder we're going to do is he's sorted us out a great deal for them as well. So as I say, a big thanks. So if anybody's looking for Celtic t-shirts, Celtic designs, he's got some amazing designs. CS Terrace t-shirts, got on that. Big Craig's a big diamond.
I bought a few, they've been brilliant, all of them.
Excellent. Well, nice one, boys. Well, I hope your team wins at the weekend. And all you have commented and listened, thank very much. Appreciated. And we'll go again next week. All right?
Cheers, boys. Hail, hail.
Hell.